Are we live in this bitch? Oh, I believe we are indeed live in this bitch. What's going on, Conscious Crew? It is your host, Conscious TV. Welcome to another riveting episode on this platform, okay? You guys know I don't do interviews too much, but I saw the show over my birthday weekend. Everybody had been telling me about this show for months and months and months and months on end. But I'm kind of a tardy for the party type of a person when shit is a little too popular. So when things are popping off, it'll take me like 2 years to finally see the first episode of Empire. Matter of fact, I still haven't seen a single episode of Empire. Bite me. But I checked out G Status, and these Negroes had me up for a whole 24 hours because I binge watched season 1 and season 2. And I was very surprised that I found something like G Status to be so fulfilling and yet encompass so much ratchetosity. Okay. You guys will not be disappointed if you tune in to G Status. I highly recommend you check out season 1 and season 2. These guys have it going on from top to bottom. So before we get into our guest today, who is a fellow co-star within the web series, matter of fact, he's one of my favorites. I initially drew to him upon watching the first season. He reminds me of something. Maybe he reminds me of Good Bundles. That may be what it is, you know, like just good quality 10A grade bundles is what he reminds me of. Just fresh, nice, clean, up to par. So we're going to get into his life. We're going to get into some behind the scenes tea. We're going to get into some of the controversies, some of the beef, and the future of his presence on the show, because there's some things happening right now. So before we get into the show, what's going on, Toots? What's going on, Miss Winston? Miss Wisdom, what's going on? Captivating Christian, hello to all of the mods, all of the love you all. You guys thumbs up this video, share and subscribe if you have not already subscribed. Hit that notification bell if you have not already, so that you can keep up with all of the latest uploads from your favorite motherfucking content creator. With no further ado, I want to introduce the man of the next hour and a half or two, Tramel.
What's up?
How are thou?
Thou art well. Yeah.
First of all, I'm jealous of your camera. What the hell are you using?
I'm using my phone.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna need you to
ring lights. You know, got a little ring light. Okay. I can change it blue and all that other stuff, but I'm not gonna do that to y'all.
I think you need to put me on your plan and like ship me over a phone so I can stuff my pussy.
It's the regular. It's not even the good one. It's only the 10. It's not even one of the. You notice the X.
Oh, that is very unfortunate.
I'm behind. I'm actually behind. So.
Oh, okay. Well, speaking of behind, can you tell the people why the hell we're 15 minutes late? I'm gonna let you tell them why we needed an additional 10 minutes.
Can you see me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. You know, initially I was just sitting here bumbling around in the house, and you know, my boyfriend came out. He was like, "Don't you got an interview with me?" I was like, "Yeah," but he didn't send me no link.
Yikes!
So I actually hit up Conscious TV maybe like 5 minutes before, and I was just like, "Okay." And then he did a video chat, and he looked like that, and so I was like, "Oh no, I can't." So I was like, "Give me 10 minutes." I thought this was giving T-shirt vibes, but then I just like, you know, let me little slap.
You're not familiar with the. You aren't
know,
familiar with the
down, you know.
You're not familiar with the platform, Trey. You know we don't do basic here.
I did watch a couple of videos. Now I did watch a few, and I did see a couple of fashions that was given. But you know, it's Sunday, and I wasn't expecting to, you know, just pop.
We don't take a day off from beauty and swag and sex appeal, okay? That's a 7 days a week situation, right? That's a lifestyle.
Well, you know, my lifestyle, it'd be different sometimes, you know.
All right. Well, tell us a little bit about yourself. Before we get into the show, I know you guys have a lot going on. I want to know who you are, what land is native to you, And what was your upbringing like?
So my upbringing was, lower middle class, of course. It's just really hardworking upbringing. I lived in Georgia my whole life, so I'm an Atlanta, Georgia native. I was born at Grady Memorial Hospital. If anybody knows what that is, that that means my mama didn't have insurance at the time. That's where you go when you need your baby popped out for a decent rate.
Which through Grady?
I'm
2-parent household.
Huh?
2-parent household, father in the
single,
picture.
Single mom.
All right.
My dad lives in California. They were never really together when I was coming up, so
it's okay because my mom got pregnant with me in the back seat of a Hyundai too. So
what? I don't know if it was a Hyundai. It could have been, a Honda, or maybe a Toyota. I don't know if it was a.
Okay, wait a minute. I made it way too glamorous for my mother. It was in the backseat of a cab. Continue.
A cab? That's what's up. We on the move, on the go.
On the move? Yeah, that's where I get my outgoing spirit from.
That's what's up. Not your, was the man the driver? That's your dad, or was it the?
No, he was actually a friend of the family.
That's awesome.
But this isn't about me. This is about you.
Well, I feel like you need to unpack whatever you got going on right now.
Oh yeah, another show for a different day.
I would love to come back and talk to you. I would love to interview you.
Sure.
So a little bit about my history as far as work. I primarily work in banking. As that's my 9 to 5.
Okay, hold on. Is that a passion, or that was just something that was cute? That's a cute field to go into to keep the bills paid, or is that something that's
near and dear to my heart?
Yeah.
Oh no, it's not near and dear to my heart. It's just cute to keep the coins rolling.
Okay, all right.
Building up this corporate check. Keeping some money to fulfill my dreams. We always gotta have a 9 to 5. Some good benefits. You know what I'm saying? To, keep some food on the table and a roof over your head. So,
how long have you been in banking?
I've been in banking maybe 7 years.
7 years. Okay, cool. That's the year of perfection, I believe. Are you ready to give it up, or?
Oh, I've always been ready to give it up, but
Oh.
we do what we got to do, to get these bills
Look,
going.
I'm mad whether it's tricking or counting.
I never wanted to do that. That was never my thing. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
It ain't. I've always.
We gonna get.
Huh?
We gonna get into if that's your thing.
That's what they say about the girls. The girls be scamming and tricking and lucking and sucking, honey.
How has Atlanta got such? When did Atlanta get this reputation? I don't recall always hearing this about Atlanta, but you are native to Atlanta, so has this always been the reputation of Atlanta, especially concerning the LGBT community? Because I feel like this is kind of over the past 20 years, Atlanta has, maybe 15, has gotten this scam, promiscuous, raunchy type of reputation. It's nuts.
Well, in my early 20s, a little bit of my teenage years, because I didn't really start participating in LGBTQ community activities until I was 19 years old. So just watching it grow into what it is now is kind of disappointing a little bit, to see where Atlanta falls on that little spectrum of ratchetry. It used to be fun when I was younger. It used to be more exciting. It used to be more. It was more like everybody was friendly with everyone. It wasn't as nasty as it is. So it just started turning that way. Probably around when I started getting a little older, into my late 20s. Honestly, for me, that's when everything started going downhill. It used to be fun to go out, and fun to go meet everyone. It used to be fun to do but now you only want to go outside because it's just damn.
Doesn't being an adult sucks? My God, so strange.
I mean, it's not the adults that suck. It's the younger kids that are coming in and the next generation.
Okay, it's the ratchet power bottom, so we're just running amok in Sodom and Gomorrah. Okay, got it. Right.
That's what I'm saying. You said that I didn't.
Look, you talked about coming out at 20. So, what was your coming out story like? Like, were you accepted by your mom? Was that an easy experience? And why did you come out, or what made you accept yourself?
Well, didn't come out. I was more dragged out, if you will. So, my coming out story was kind of like depressing and deep, I guess, to some people, and I have cried about it before.
Oh God! So we're gonna have an Oprah moment. Oh no! You got to give up the tears on the platform, like we do Oprah moments here.
Because I cried about that on a different. But I didn't cry about the actual. Because actually, it was funny how it happened. Now that I look at it, but when you're being because it happened when I was 19.
Okay.
So, what my stepfather, my mom's ex-boyfriend he's her ex-boyfriend now, my sister's father, what he decided he wanted to do was try to figure me out, you know what I'm saying? So he kind of had like someone, a gay guy at his job hit me up on one of the popular gay sites back in the day, that got disbanded a long time ago. He had him hit me up, gave me my phone number, and had to do
Your stepfather set you up by having someone he knew catfish you, basically, on a gay site. How did he even know you were on the site you were on?
You don't clear that history, using the family computer, you don't clear that back in the day, because I was 19, that was 15 years ago. So it was kind of like...
That was old enough to have stepped your sneaky game up though. Like you wasn't so young you didn't know how to be professionally sneaky.
No, I was innocent. I'm innocent.
I knew to clear the browser history, Tramel.
No.
That's like leaving a porn tape in the family VCR. It's like,
I mean, eventually, it happened. It happened that way. I mean, you be on there so many times. Sometimes you might forget to, delete it or whatever the case may be.
Well, let me ask you this question: could it have been on a subconscious level? You kind of slacked up because maybe did you feel your household?
I've been doing it so long, I was getting comfortable. So I was doing it for like a year.
Okay, I was gonna ask that.
At that point,
and did you feel like your parents would have an aggressive reaction even if they did find out? Or did you feel like...
Honestly, I think I expected a little bit better. I expected a little bit more passive reaction because of the way my mom is. She's not really like an active... Honestly, she's not really like an active, emotional person to me. You know what I'm saying? If that makes any sense. Like, she doesn't give me a lot of emotion when it comes to her feelings on things. She's kind of like, do this and don't do that, and type of person. But we've never talked about sex. We've never talked about boys and girls and stuff like that. We've never had those types of discussions. So in my mind, I was just like, if she finds out, she'd probably be like, okay, like whatever. But it was complete opposite of what I thought, honestly. And it got really, really bad at one point to where it was just like her and my father, my sperm donor, who is cool now, but both of them were just kind of like they got into cahoots with each other, and they just kind of pretty much just like teamed up on me and was just like bashing me like in the worst kind of ways possible. And it was just like being called disgusting, and that's disgusting. You're going to hell when you die. You'll catch HIV, and all those things. So.
Wow.
And you'll go to hell when you die. It was like one of those typical Christian things. It's not like she's a Christian, but she's not like a church-going person. She's more like...
Everybody becomes a Christian when it comes to homosexuality, I've noticed.
You know what? The Christian really came out of her in that moment. I was like, who are you? Like, I really didn't recognize her in those moments, and it was kind of like... It was kind of hard to deal with sometimes. It got to the point where I had to move out for a little while. I'm 19, quit school. I was in college at the time, so it was kind of like, and I was just like, boom, boom, boom. It was just like hit after hit after hit. And then, you know, eventually our relationship got better, and, you know, apologies were made, you know, on their behalf to me, you know, over time.
Oh, that's dope. That's
Yeah.
dope.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, moving into a different phase of my life, I always knew that at the end of the day, like, I only have me to take care of. And, you know, if something goes wrong, I'm going to have to take care of me. So
Yeah.
that's the mindset that formed from, you know, me having my coming out story. It was just that if somebody don't fuck with you, they just don't fuck with you, whether it be your family, your friends, or anything like that. So I learned very
Absolutely.
early that, you know, being independent is the most important thing. And I think it kind of made me a little bit more like, I think it made me a little hard, you know, but I am still like, I give people chances, but I don't.
Yeah.
But once your chance has been fucked up, I'll be looking at you different, and it never changes.
Yeah, for sure. Like, well, I won't say it made it harder. Like, it matured you.
Yeah.
It helped you to understand that everything in life is not, it's not going to be so rosy. So to carry a certain level of self-preservation around with you
Hell
in
yeah.
life, yeah, for sure.
The only bitch that matter at this point. Like, god damn.
So somebody in the comment section said it's good that they apologized. Before we move on, I wanted to ask you, do you know what was the catalyst for your parents to have made that leap to kind of embrace it instead of resisting your orientation?
For my mom, it was more like, so when she saw that I left, and she, you know, my mom, I know she loves me, and I know she cares about me, and stuff like that. And then when I came back, because, you know, it was like a typical situation of where I was staying was, you know, 5 bitches to 1 room type thing, you know, and everybody trying to do that, you know?
Atlanta. Yeah.
And I knew I didn't want to do that either. And, you know, that was the first wave of bitches sleeping on people's floors and stuff. Like, I wasn't sleeping on the floor, but, you know, having a couch for like 2 months was just like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. So going back home and talking to her, and she, you know, was just like, she realized that what she did to me was, it hurt me, I think. And so I think that was for her the catalyst to make her apologize to me. And then on top of that, my sister's father, they actually broke up. So she kind of like needed me to be there.
Won't God do it?
Won't
God do it?
But he's cool now. Like, that's been 15 years ago. Now he comes around sometimes from time to time, because, you know, my sister has a daughter, so, you know, that he comes around, and he's like their grandparents together, but even though they're not together, but, you know, that's cool for them. And I he's cool to me now, so I mean, we got no problems. My dad, however, he held on to it for a long time, and he was never really active in my life, so it was kind of different with him. He never really like gave me any emotional support, period. So now that you're bashing me, it's just like you're a stranger to me, telling me what to do with my life, and it's kind of like, I don't need this from you. So with him, it was kind of like up and down for many, many years, and we just recently, like maybe 4 or 5 years ago, we started getting to a better place. And you know, now he done got it 2 ways, because my brother, who is his son, is also gay. So he just all for
double the truck. Look.
Yeah,
I think that Chris Rock said it best. He said, what you hate as a parent, more than likely you're going to co-create as a parent. You know, so if you hate the gays, you're going to give birth to the gays. If you hate the other races, your daughter going to come home marrying La Vida Loca. If you, it always finds its way right.
And what is
right
so
next
funny
to
about that is that, you know, my little brother, he put so much energy and so much time and so much money into him and so much emotional support. Like, he raised that young man. He didn't raise me. He gave me the bullshit. But he raised that young man, and that young man turned out to be just like me. And I just found that to be, and, you know, me and my brother, we're semi close. You know, I'm only seeing him like once or twice, because, you know, the distance. He stays in California where my dad stays, you know. So I just found that to be, and he told him on Father's Day recently, like maybe like a year or 2 ago.
That sounded a little like karma. Like, it's like a little vengefulness was there on Father's Day, really.
My brother, they get into it real bad, apparently.
Oh, okay.
My little brother can't stand this, and I'm just like, oh well, he fine with me. Hopefully they'll get to a better place, but, you know, I pray about that. I hope they get to a better place, because, you know, that's the child that you completely raised. And you know, I hope that you would have a better relationship with him. Now, him and me, you know, I can forgive him because, you know, honestly, you're like a stranger to me in more ways than one. So our relationship can't be repaired because I'm supposed to have this initial love for you, and initial respect, so I can build off of that. As long as you respect me, I respect you, and that's where our relationship is. It's not more of a like a, oh, I love you, you know. But we've gotten a lot better, and I'm happy about that. I really am.
Yeah. Well, I hear in the background that there's a lot of people obviously calling the fire department to help them up off those mattresses in Atlanta.
Oh, but you know what's going on. You know, I'm in Buckhead, so you know the whites and stuff.
All right. So they're passing through. Got it.
They're passing through. It's not
okay.
Over.
So are you and your younger brother close as a result of him also identifying?
Yeah, you know what? I think I was one of the first people that he probably told. He told me like maybe 6 years ago, but he just recently told our father. So it was kind of like, he was like, don't tell him, you know. I was like, you know, if you ever want to talk about it, just let me know or whatever. He's like, brother, I am a bottom. I said, oh, okay.
Woo, child.
That is so.
What a confession.
I was like, you don't want to top a little bit? He's like, no, I'm too lazy. I said, all right, girl, you better get it out here in these streets.
Wait, he finds topping lazy.
That's but that was a long time ago. I don't know what he is.
Oh, okay. All right.
Starting out, you know.
Yeah. Okay. Well, is he at your feet now? His big brother is this alumni reality star, making things happen, bringing name and juice to the family. Legacy. Is he feeling it?
You know, I really honestly don't know if he actually watches the show. I know he's very supportive of all the other things that I've been doing, my music and everything like that. So I don't know if he's actually watched the show. And, you know, I don't even know if my father's watched the show. My mom has definitely never watched the show. I would never let her.
Are you hoping that they would never? Are you hoping that they won't ever hit that Google search? Okay.
Never. I hope.
You know what?
My mom's cousins watched the show. You know, she's older. She's the same age as my mom. So she watched the show and she told me, she said, I seen you on that show and I just think it's great. I'm like, you think it's great, girl?
That's right, auntie. But you know what's so funny? I mean, I think out of all the cast members, I think you've handled things well enough for if the family would like, if I were you, I would feel more comfortable being you and have my family watch it than maybe some of the other cast members.
You know, honestly, I would say that for season 1. Season 2, not so much. Now,
we gonna get into
embarrassment for me.
We're gonna get into season 1. Before we get into the show, I also want to know more about your music. Like, how long have you had a love for music? When did you start doing music? And where can people find your music? I know you have a single out. You just shot a nice video, get your little Maxwell on. Fortunate to have you. Go ahead, fuck it up, Tramel. I wasn't mad.
So let me see. Where are you? When we start? Where did I come up with music? You know, everybody think they can sing in the shower. You know what I'm saying? You know, we honestly all think they can sing in the shower. You know, so when you take it outside, they be like, "Oh, girl, it's not there for you." But when I took it outside, it was kind of like, "Oh, okay, you got a little something you working with." And you know, I just always, it was always like one of the things on my bucket list to like do, like, oh, I want to make a song, and I just want to express myself through music. And honestly, when I actually created my first song, which was called Single, it was more of a, I guess I could get into that a little bit later, but and tell you the reason why, because it actually ties into season 2 of G Status.
Okay.
Honestly, but when I created that song, it actually sparked an interest in me to want to do more, and it came out so good. I was just like, oh, I wonder how far I can go with this, and I really do have a love for it. My EP dropped last month on October 1st, so you can find
congratulations, that's amazing.
Yes, it's got 6 songs on there. It's called 6-Page Letter. They're all love songs. They're all some.
Is that a play off of Aaliyah's 4-Page situation?
Yes,
little bit. Okay, all right.
I love Aaliyah.
Did the new love life inspire? Did the new love life inspire some of the?
Definitely, and you know, some past situations, and some of them were not my situation. Oops, hold on, my eye.
Father God, fix it, Jesus.
Fix it, Jesus. Okay, it's fixed. So, yeah. So, where was I? A couple of songs are not experiences of my own, obviously, and some of them are like things that I think about that if they were to happen to me, how I would react to them. So, I mean, I feel like it's relatable. It's something that everybody can. There are different songs that anybody can relate to in certain stages of relationships. It's actually, if you listen to it like full all the way out, it's like a complete love story told in all the. So my first song, Single, and then my next song talks about being in a relationship with someone and not really knowing where it's going. You know.
Okay, Ike.
Huh? What'd you say?
I said push through, Ike.
Oh Lord. Not knowing where it's going. Not knowing where it's going. And then there's another one. The next one is kind of like pretty much a sexual relationship where you just like y'all just doing it. And then the next one.
Push through. Romance.
Anywho.
Yes.
Actually, Single was pretty much about that person.
This sounds like a mini autobiography, really, now that I think about it.
And then the last song
might pertain more. The
last song ends off with, just me being in love and the feeling of that love that I have, So pretty much it's just like start to finish.
The period,
like a story.
Do you know who else this album was like that?
Ooh.
I don't know if anybody ever noticed it. It was the Destiny's Child, their Destiny Fulfilled album.
You know what?
Was
I do
a journey through. Yeah.
It was a journey, baby. I love it.
Yeah, it was amazing.
My favorite song from that album was Is She the Reason?
Is She the Reason? Yeah. I like Bad Habit. That was my situation.
Yeah,
that's my. It was good to see Kelly take a lead for one.
Yeah.
Beyonce sit the fuck down. Back.
Don't do Beyonce.
Just a little. Just back a little bit, bitch. Just
Kelly.
back a little
Kelly
bit.
Rowland has a beautiful voice. Like
she does.
Underrated. I think they didn't really know where to place her as far as her music was, and they put her in the sexual category. They didn't really let her be adventurous and deep. So, but it's okay.
Yeah. Well, when she turned into a solo situation, she did her for sure. Because she's really big in Europe. Yeah, for sure. So from corporate America to musician, then to reality star, how the fuck did you get hooked up with G Status? How did you become aware of the show? Who the hell recruited you? Like, how long did it take them to convince you that this was a good idea?
Okay, so backstory, I guess. So when I was it was 2017. Right, and this was before music, this was before anything, anything like that. I just took some pictures one time, couple of times, with some people because they was like, "Oh, I would like to take pictures." I'm like, "Oh, okay." I've never modeled before in my life, and so I decided to step out and just try something different, take some nice pictures. That was my goal. So, posting it on my Instagram, a lot of people started taking to it, whatever. They say, "Oh, you have a nice body." I'm like, "Oh, thanks." Whatever. But then somebody reached out to me from G Status. They just, sent me a DM, say, "Hey, I'm creating a reality show. I would love for you to audition for it. Hit me up, and send in an audition tape." So I did the audition tape, and I sent it in, and they picked me. I mean, it was like boom, boom, boom. And they just put us all together and they just filmed everything. So it pretty much happened I think they sent me the email in November of that year, 2017, and we started filming January 2018.
Wow, January 2018. Okay, so what was your understanding about what this was, and did you have a description of what kind of would be happening here?
What they told me was this show was supposed to be about young individuals chasing their dreams in the industry and working together to better the community, of course. So and just to capture the lives they're real industry working people. So when you get there, you're like, and you meet some of the individuals, you're just like, you girl, like y'all. Oh, okay. I mean, I don't know what y'all do. I don't really do much myself. I just took a few pictures on Instagram. So I felt like, okay, well, I think initially it sounded great, but when you actually meet the other cast members, you're kind of like, oh, this is what it's gonna be. Okay, cool. I mean, we can have a good time and get to, meet some new people and, have fun with it or whatever the case may be. Now, honestly, I feel like some people went into it with the expectation of glitz and glamour. And I just went into it with the thought process of, oh, this would be something cute to do for the moment. I didn't think it would be anything special. I didn't think it would be anything grand.
Really?
Like, oh, it might get like 2,000, views if we're lucky or something like that. And then it turned.
Well, clearly somebody underestimated. Highly underestimated. So did you know any of the guys prior? Anybody on the show? Did you know them prior coming into filming? Because I noticed that on first season, you and Sherrod was reading from 2 different teleprompters because you was a friend he hadn't talked to in a while that he needed to catch up with. And for you, I never met this bitch. I'm just here to see what's good, meet new people. So I was confused.
Really? Is that the energy that you're gonna throw on me? Okay. I only knew one person from before the season ever started, and I didn't really know him that well. I just knew of him, and we've spoken on Instagram a few times, and his name was Charlie Exile. That's the only person that I knew coming into season 1. Honestly, that's the only person that I had knew prior. Me and Charlie, fun fact, nobody will ever know, but I'm going to tell you.
Okay.
When I was auditioning, when I sent in my audition tape, they actually sent me an offer letter to be a part of the cast, right? Guess whose name was on it? Not mine.
Ooh.
It was Charlie's name on my offer letter. So I knew automatically that.
Wow.
It was like, girl, y'all already fucking up. I should have known then. I was like, girl, y'all can't even send me the right letter. So they accidentally sent me Charlie Exile's offer letter. So I hit Charlie up and asked him, was he going to participate in the, in the show, period. Yeah. So he was just like, I'll do it if you do it. I was like, okay, well, I'll do it. Because then I of course I sent them back. I'm like, my name is not on this offer letter. It's somebody else. So I hit him up and I asked him, what's he doing? And he was like, I don't know. I might. If you do it, I'll do it. I was like, okay, I'll do it or whatever. I mean, I think it'll be fun. It'll be nice to know someone, that's actually on there. So they sent me my offer letter finally. And then we, So I only knew Charlie.
Okay. Yeah. So you didn't have any idea so you didn't have an agenda going in. You was just like, I'm just going to go on this adventure. You didn't kind of come in with a personality or with like, I'm going to be this character or play this role. You just went in willy-nilly into the show.
I went in willy-nilly, but I also went in with the mindset of, I don't want to act a fool on camera. I don't want nobody to see me acting up. I don't want nobody to see me fighting, because I know that this way. I was like, I don't know what kind of reality show this is going to be. I of course, Love and Hip Hop was out at the time and all this other shit, and Bad Girls Club and all that other stuff. So and then I had, of course, seen Chasing Atlanta. And that was way before, So I thought Status and Chasing Atlanta would be kind of like, they might be the same, like, aesthetic. So I knew that I didn't want to act a fool. So that's what I went into the mindset of, I'm going to be cute. I'm just going to keep it cute with everybody. I'm be cool with everybody. And I'm just going to, stay in the back. And I'm not really trying to, like, do too much, because at the end of the day, I don't want nobody pulling this up. And I had a job. I was like, girl, I can't be going to jail. I can't be fighting, So that's why I went into it with, and that's why
So speaking of job, do y'all get a love offering? Is there a budget for? Okay, got it.
It was out of pocket, baby. We didn't get paid for nothing. First season, no payment. But there were some people who on that cast who needed help with certain situations, like getting places. And so some people were given money for certain things like Ubers and, getting rides places and buy me
paperback
this
lunches.
outfit.
Okay.
Probably buying lunches for people. I never got shit.
Well,
but then again, I never.
You didn't mean shit, Mr. Corporate America.
I really didn't mean shit. But come to find out, a lot of people were getting a lot of things. I'm just like, damn, shit. I should have acted poor, and I could have gotten me some shit.
A cute little Airbnb for a month, I'm not mad.
One particular person, apparently, allegedly, we're gonna put allegedly, was getting flown here, getting flued out. Regularly because they needed to film, and they wanted to go back home and come back here and go back home. They needed them to come down, so they were buying them plane tickets. So back and forth.
Was this person essential to the show now that everything has played out? Like, did they even pack the punch for production to be flying them in and out? Like, did they?
Well, they were
was it worth it?
I feel like they had a main storyline throughout the whole show.
Okay, so it was worth it.
It was worth it for production, I suppose, but this person quit halfway through the season, so the flight stopped. So.
Oh, the flight stopped. But we want to get into why a lot of things stopped. What was your initial impression of the rest of the cast after you met the guys?
I thought everybody was cool, honestly. I really didn't have no problems with anyone. I thought it was all good initially. Yeah, I didn't really have any problems with anyone, so I just thought everybody was cool.
Okay, so when did everybody become not cool? Because you was my favorite initially, and you still are my favorite. But then you got a little lopsided when a certain friendship got pretty prevalent in your life, and I felt like certain things started bleeding out on you, and I was like, Tramel, don't bite the apple, boo. Stay in that wholesome boy next door place that we love you for. Don't give in to the ego, and don't give in to the I don't see it for these girls. I'm above these girls. Don't bite the apple, Eve. But I thought you started nibbling on the apple. You started nibbling a little bit. Do you feel like there was an influence of some sort, or were you really seeing what the other person was seeing at the time when it came to everybody else, when things started to shift in the group?
Okay, so to be completely transparent, like when you're in the situation, you really don't know how people are going to perceive you, honestly. When we're shooting something, and I will say this, and I'll just lead off with this, when you're not relatable and you don't show a lot of your personality, you don't show any kind of vulnerability, people automatically will be, not automatically, but more than often, they will be like against you because they don't really understand how you can be so proud and not have any chinks in your armor. You know what I'm saying? So to start there. So being in a situation with a bunch of people that you barely know, and you're seeing how people are maneuvering through the situation, and certain things were being said by certain people, and you're just like, why would you say that about this person? And it just kind of makes you look at them like, girl, what you willing to say about me to get a little camera time? Now, from where I was standing, the particular friend that I had never did that, but there were other cast members who did. Now, whether y'all believe it or not, like certain situations were never brought up by him. They were brought up by other people. And that was under the guise of production. I remember sitting, even Akeem would, even sitting in one scene, I remember we did karaoke. And, behind the cameras, of course, the producer was just like, they told a particular individual to say, hey, why don't you speak about a certain person being homeless, or that not being his home where he used that venue. And so this person was just like, oh yeah, I don't know. He kind of lied and said, that was his place when it really wasn't his place. And then, my friend at the time was like, why would you say that? Why would you say that about this person? Now, when it gets spent around,
the spinning
process, and because it's airing, and then people are just like, oh, now I gotta fix it. You know, they're like, I never said that, you said that. So me looking at my friend like, girl, like, what is going on? You know, this is like TV 101. Don't say nothing that ain't got shit to do with you, because you can't control that narrative if somebody else says something different. And I'm gonna tell y'all that.
Right.
So seeing what people were willing, honestly, seeing what people were willing to do for, you know, under the guise of production and camera time and stuff like that, it kind of made me look at people like, I think you're weak-minded. But this person who was my friend, honestly, said whatever the fuck he wanted to say. He didn't do it because people told. I mean, and I could respect that. I honestly respected the fact that he was very like, I'm gonna say what the fuck, even if it was fucked up, it was because he wanted to say it.
There were some fucked up things said. Yes, God. I said, and there were some fucked up things said.
Pretty fucked up, and then it's just like, but that was a whole situation. But you know, that's how I felt about it in the beginning, honestly.
Okay.
So like, I can't be friends with you, bitch, if you sitting up here willing to tear somebody down for some camera time. It's like, ooh.
Right. Well, I noticed that you had a lot. Your faces at the Zafar's pillow talk, which turned into shit talk night, was very interesting. What did you think about that night? Because it was interesting how things went left between Sherrod and your old friend.
Okay. So that was a mandatory filming. I'm gonna let y'all know that. So we had to go. If you didn't go, you were fired.
You're out of here.
You're out of here, because a lot of people weren't showing up to filmings. They weren't doing what they were supposed to do, or you know, shit like that. So like, I think 3 people got canned that day.
Wow.
So everybody.
Jafar's house wasn't gonna hold but so many of y'all. So maybe the Lord worked in mysterious ways.
Maybe. I mean, that room was nice.
I love Jafar. I think he's wonderful.
Jafar is nice. He's a nice person. So when we get there, it's kind of like, okay, why are we here? And it was just like, okay, so the situation happened between, you know, my old friend and a couple of people in the room, and he really didn't want to be there, of course, but you know, it's just like, it's mandatory. So, you know, what happened? Shit, I forget what happened. Hell.
What happened was initially he tried to put Milan on blast.
Milan. Oh yeah, so Milan.
He tried to put Milan on blast about the comment, but then things went left between him and Sherrod instead.
But it says because Milan was actually initially the one who mentioned, like I told you, under production, like, oh Milan, what did you think about Sherrod not being his house and stuff like that? And then he said what he said at the karaoke event. Him and Corday got into it because Corday was like, why would you say that? And so Milan was just like, why are you trying me? Like, why are you? And so they just started going at it from there. You know, they started, you know, attacking each other's character, like behind the scenes. So then we get into.
Is that the moment? Is that the moment that you didn't want to get to know Milan? Like, did your attitude about Milan change as you're watching this play out?
It wasn't that it changed. It was just like, girl, don't lie. That is just don't lie. You know, you said it. It came out your mouth. It didn't come out your mouth in that way. Because, okay, it was verbatim like this. I know whose house that was that, you know, Sherrod had his event at. I know whose house that was, and it was not his house. So that makes me think, I don't know, you could be lying. This is my first time meeting you. Like, is that your house? Like, where do you live? And Corday was like, well, where do you, he's like, it sounds like you're trying to say that man is homeless. Like, maybe that's the home that he aspires to be. Like, why are you doing that? So that's where that whole situation got spent around. Well, you called him homeless. I never said that. So you try to mince words in that way. And, you know, it was kind of like, girl, like, ooh, this is messy. Like, I wanted people to own up to it. But it really didn't affect me because, bitch, I had a home.
Well, that was about to be my next question. Well, that was about to be my next question was, did Milan even have a home? Like, we never saw the cameras film in any of her.
Milan was back and forth from New York to his grandmother's house. So it
Oh,
wasn't
so
like,
that might explain your initial statement a while ago about, okay, got it. Made the connection. Continue.
but that's allegedly, you know, flying back and
Okay.
forth in plane tickets, you
Mm-hmm.
know, allegedly. Um,
I got a master's in nosology, so I catch everything.
you better catch it. I'm giving it to you. You got to catch it. You got to catch it because I ain't gonna say it directly.
Yes.
So that whole situation happens, and you know they for all intents and purposes, it was just like, oh girl, well, it's all good. Mind you, they had already been going back and forth about it on the internet or whatever, and you know, certain people were saying that they were gonna beat up, you know, my old friend. Whenever I see, I want to beat you up, I'm beat your ass, and blah, blah, blah. You know, it just got to that point, you know, whatever. And so they finally meet up, and it's just like, girl, we don't have to fuck with each other. And I was like, good. So y'all not gonna be friends with each other? Y'all not gonna talk to each other? Good. Okay, cool. Next. So that situation was pretty much over. And I guess I don't know what happened when we went into that bathroom. You know, me, my old friend Charlie. We talked or whatever, and you know, we was like pretty much. I told him to, you know,
first of all, why did y'all crowd into the bathroom like Beyonce, Kelly, and Michelle? Like, what the hell was the choo-choo train about? Why were three grown-ass men following behind each other?
Pretty much, I was trying to get clarity. I was trying to make sure that everybody understood, like, this situation is dead. We all wanted to just make sure that it was dead and that we know what happened. We know what was said because we were all at the karaoke place when it was said, and nobody wants to acknowledge the truth. So if they want to be friends, if they want to be cool, let them be cool. I mean, it's nobody's business what they do with their own, you know, stuff. So that's what we three were talking about in the bathroom. We were like, let's go back out here and just be cool. You know, it's all done and we're cool. So we go back out. But
y'all had to know things were going to be misinterpreted. Like, okay, they're going up into the bathroom. People about to talk hella shit. They going in there to be shady. So
I mean, it could look like that, but we want to come out and be like, hey, you know, we all good, cool, boom, boom, boom. But then, you know, that whole charade that you slid in my DMs, and it was kind of like, ooh, now that I didn't know.
Well, apparently from Charlie, we learned that your old friend had been in a lot of people's DMs. Apparently,
you know, he was a slider. I don't know. I really didn't. So honestly, I didn't know. I only known him. I only knew him maybe 2 months.
Yeah.
So he was not like my friend like that. So I didn't really know what the fuck to think about it. So I'm like, bitch, you slide in the DMs? Oh, okay, girl. Like, you know, get it how you live. Like, but I was just shocked and surprised. Like, sit up there and like you hard pressed about this young man like Sherrod, and you just like he was in his DMs. Like, girl, I don't. It was a. And Sherrod wanted to tell everybody, so I don't know. It was shocking to me, and I was like, "Damn, y'all really is going hard in the paint on this show that's only gonna get 500 views." Like, what are you
doing? Still underselling it at that point, right?
This is my thought process. Like, this shit only gonna get 500 views, but y'all just like doing some extra shit. I'm like, wow, like really, damn. I didn't know. Wasn't aware.
You didn't know.
Didn't know.
Okay. So a lot of people feel like. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, I was going to say a lot of people felt like you were maybe an enablerist when it came to your old friend. Do you feel like? Yeah. Do you feel like you co-signed a lot of the bullshit? A lot of people wanted to know. Did you and your old friend ever have like even if you didn't get into his ass on camera, did you ever get in his ass off camera? Were there any like, okay,
of course. I mean, honestly, me having conversations with him off camera was, you know, why are you doing this? Like, why are you going back and forth with people? Why are you arguing with people? Like, if you truly have you know, I'm gonna say this is a very general statement. If you honestly have a brand or something that you're working on and you are this bitch, you're that girl, like you don't have to argue with anybody and you don't have to tell everybody that you're that bitch. You just exude it. I mean, but honestly, I know that if I did not help the situation, his side of the story probably would have never got told. So I was more so enabling the progression of the story, if you will, because there was just like sometimes some conversation, I don't know if anybody really saw, but like even the next conversation that we had about Sherrod and him being in the DMs or whatever, I was just like, you know, he was showing me the DMs and it was kind of like, oh, well, girl, you was in his DMs, you did. But he's like, but this is what it was. I'm like, okay, yeah. And he said the same thing. So what's the big deal? Like, it's not that deep. It's really not that serious. But you said it. You acting like you wasn't in his DM, but you was. And I said it. I was just like, well, girl, you was into the conversation. I mean, it never went nowhere, but but I, bitch, you stay about people DMs. But I have told him that. I told him that in that moment. I said it on camera. I don't know if you got to watch the scene. You got to watch it closely. The way I watch it from the perspective of I was there and I was telling this boy, like, boy, you was in his DM. Oh, you said this in his DM, and it might have come off as a joke, and maybe people like kind of flew by it. But I was just like, girl, stay about that boy DMs. Yeah. Like, what you gonna do going forward? Like, you gonna stay away from them? Like, I mean, it gets clear that he wants to like run the story about you, and you don't gave it to him. So, girl, what you gonna do?
Well, you and your old friend seems like night and day. So, like, did you obviously not see him the way that everybody else did? Like the level of arrogance and the level of like haughtiness and pompousness, like that didn't really translate to you personally? Or
honestly, it would never translate to somebody like me because I don't pay attention to people in that way. You know what I'm saying? If somebody thinks that they're better than people, I know you're not better than me. So bitch, I'm not offended, or I don't care about what you're talking about. Now, when you start saying that shit directly to my face, like to me, because he never actively came out and said, I'm better than them. He's never said that. He never said that to me. And he might have said it in his confessionals, and we have seen it on camera. But like, honestly, he's never like came off to me like, oh, I think I'm better than everyone. Now,
I recall statements like y'all pooching through Jafari's apartment and his confessional. I'm not impressed, and I'm only here because of Tramel. And finally, Tramel invites me out to somewhere classy. And
that was put on for the cameras, baby, because we filmed that scene after the fights had already happened. That's camera magic. Like I told you, it's camera magic. We filmed that scene coming in after they had already fought in the room. That scene was already done. So of course, we gonna come in like, girl, I'm ready to go, bitch. Let's walk up in here and let's pretend. Let's pretend like we just got here. We've been here like 2 hours. It's in the middle of the night. I'm ready to go. But yeah, those particular things, of course, you can see that. But then you got to think about, like, for me, it's thinking about the place that you were in, the mindset that we were in, and the place that that production put us. It was kind of like, goddamn, like, girl, I don't want to do this, so let me just pretend. But then when I get in my confessionals, I'm gonna say, girl, I mean, the house was cute, you know what I'm saying? But knowing what had happened already, kind of like, girl. That's why I don't like filming confessionals. See, the problem with it was filming confessionals when we were already into it with people and wanted to be nasty to each other. That's the problem. And it just gave off the wrong energy, and it gives off the wrong perception of what really was true to the moment. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Well, my question was, all of you guys seem to be disinterested in filming the show, which made me be like, why the fuck are any of you filming the show? Like, everybody was like always over it. Why am I here? Why am I doing this? Who are these people? Why are we sitting here? This is point, like, and I'm like, this is a reality show. Like,
are we talking about season 1?
Season 1 and season 2, that same spirit was, well, season 2 was better because y'all kind of on y'all shit in season 2. But yeah, season 1, it was always like, I'm on a show that I don't want to be on, which made me be like, I mean, did y'all not think y'all were?
Honestly, it was the mindset. It makes you, because like I said, when you're coming into a situation, this is the first time go around, right? First season. Like I said, this shit gonna be 500 views. So why the fuck am I doing this? I'm not getting paid for it. In my real life, I don't hang around with bitches I don't like. I don't fuck around with girls that I don't fuck with for nothing. Like, bitch, I'm not getting paid. This shit gonna get 500 views. Nobody's ever heard of this.
You in this 500 view shit.
This is the thought process. So you're thinking about this as you're in the middle of a scene. It's just like, this show ain't out. So why the fuck am I here? Like, why the fuck am I doing this to myself? Why am I buying clothes?
Because the show is going to be out, because this is reality TV and this is what people do. They get together, they interact, they like each other, not like each other, they click, they don't click, they spend time together. You go in knowing that a lot of it is manufactured, so it's kind of like you sign up for the pointlessness of it all. Like
for manufactured, I mean, signing up for a reality show is one thing, but feeling like you're wasting your time. Like I felt like literally the first season was a waste of time. Like every time I went filming until it actually aired and I saw like, oh, they got 50,000 views. Like, oh, bitch, are you serious? Damn, I should have did different. That's the problem. This is like,
okay, but this is my thing. This is my thing with you specifically. You said you watched Chasing Reality, etc. So you knew there was a potential for the show to pop off.
I did not. I knew that Chasing Atlanta. See, honestly, okay, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm a little naive. I was a little naive. I ain't gonna play with you. Chasing Atlanta had the following that they had, and I knew who they were. I knew who those people were. And when you got a show coming out like G Status, you're like, oh, y'all got the same concept. Y'all got the same thing. They might not like it because they got Chasing Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Why am I going to watch this when I got Chasing Atlanta? You know what I'm saying? Chasing Atlanta's already out. They already doing numbers. Bitch, this is a new show. Girl, I'm not interested in none of these people. And you just being around these people. You're just like, girl, the things that they talking about was not interesting to me. Nobody really like showed anything, but Charlie showed his music and Sherrod had modeling and of course my old friend had music, but then they were showing these things and it's kind of like, okay, well that's nice, but all the fighting, it's all the fighting. And then I'm just thinking like, girl, who really gonna watch this? And I didn't know. I really honestly did not know. I don't think anybody really knew. And that's when people's eyes got open. I didn't know. Being in it 3 years ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago was like, girl, we filmed this shit 4 months. It was a bunch of choppy ass shit to me, I was there. We got into a few arguments and I was just like, okay, it's gonna air. And then the first episode came out. We were all excited. Oh, let's see what it do. Maybe 1,000 views, 500. And then it turned into 55,000, and you was just like,
But see, look, I have producers talking to me right now about doing a show that's in the same bracket of G Status and the Come Up and Chasing Reality. Now, the thing is, it could get 500 views, but because I know what the potential level is, the way I'm set up, I go into everything as if the what if. And what if this thing?
You know what? Honestly, being in this situation, you should. And me knowing this now, I would never advise anybody to go in there half-stepping. Go in there and show who you are, show everything about yourself. Because I went in there afraid. I went in there afraid of like, I'm not get into it with nobody. I'm just going to, stay in the bag. This only going to get 500 views. This ain't my career. This is not my life. So, but then after everything wrapped and everything came to fruition, the following that they got, it was just kind of like, oh damn, I really wasted my time and didn't capitalize on what I should have done. And I have an opportunity to do that. Season 2, I have an opportunity because the platform is doing great, and it really is helping people. Like I would never take that away from Status. It's helped people in ways that you can't even imagine. It's brought so much business to so many cast members, who left the show and who's still on the show, everything. So yeah, I would say don't ever go into a situation half-stepping. But there are some shows still. I ain't gonna call no names, but they only get like 1,000 views. This is kind of like, girl. And it's the same concept, but it's a particular formula, and sometimes it's a hit or miss. And G Status actually became a hit. And I'm actually proud of it. I'm proud that it became a hit. I'm happy for it.
Look at there.
But being in it, 500 views. You don't think at all that it's going to be that. It's not going to be. I was like, girl, G Status, it's not going to be that girl. But then when it became that girl, it was like, oh, you that bitch. All right.
Look, G Status is so interesting from the aesthetic of the show to how they edit the show to the music choices. It's very stylized. I appreciate that because I'm a very stylized individual myself. So I appreciate the aesthetic, cinematic. Now, transitioning into season 2, but before we get there, what role does production play in the bullshit of it all? Because I know that you just mentioned that production spilled the tea about this being Sherrod's Airbnb.
I'm sorry. What happened? You frozen.
Uh-oh. Am I back? Am I back? Okay, somebody doing bitchcraft. So production playing a major role in the bullshit. How much of a role?
You froze again.
Am I froze again? Okay, hold on. Let me.
He done froze.
Am I here?
Yeah, you here now.
Okay, can you see me? Am I good?
See.
Everything all right? All right. Before we move into season 2, I wanted to ask you about production. How much of a role did production play in the bullshit of it all? I know that you said that production spilled tea about that being Sherrod's Airbnb. Were there many other moments like that where production fed or made comments that got it started and created certain narratives?
I want to say, so honestly, we're not gonna pretend like production doesn't have a hand in a lot of things being told and being said, because honestly, being in a situation, who really digging up this shit on people? Who really? So, it's always something salacious to, pass somebody a bone. It's just who's carrying it, and that's the person who's gonna get hit. So, production always plays I mean, they have to do that. Otherwise, the show would be boring. And I'm not even going to lie to you. The show would be boring.
Okay, so let's put a pin in it right there.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't that put media between like a rock and a hard place? Like on one end, we don't want to do ratchet TV, but there's a narrative that a ratchet TV sells. Is that really true? Like, do you really think that?
You freeze.
Am I frozen again? I'm still frozen. StreamYard been acting dank. Am I back?
You back?
We've been having problems with StreamYard like over the past 2 weeks. It's crazy.
Oh wow.
But am I here? Yeah.
Yeah, you here.
Am I here though? Okay, all right. But do you really believe that? Like, I mean, I'm sure that there's shows you've watched that you like that does not involve the ratchetosity, maybe. No.
Like which ones? No, there. Honestly, when it comes to reality TV, there has to be a catalyst to move a story. Like they have to do that. Every show does it. Honestly, every show does it. It's just what are you willing to do to get a story told? You know what I'm saying? I'm fine with confrontation. I mean, we all have to be on some level when you deal with personalities of other people, but it's just like sometimes it gets to be a little bit too much. It gets to be like borderline disrespectful to a point. And it's not to say that, I signed up for it, so you can disrespect me all you want. No, that's not okay. Literally, Real Housewives, I'm pretty sure they feed them information. You've seen it on Love and Hip Hop, like the producers telling the cast members, talk about certain situations, or talk about this, or reminding people to say this, or reminding people to say that.
What's interesting is that even on Housewives, producer Carlos King was the one who told Phaedra the infamous rumor that Candy was going to bring Portia back and drug her.
Right. Why are you doing that? And then you get fired because, it comes to a certain level of privacy now. Like now you're being disgusting. Now Candy is upset and suing people and sending out cease and desist. Like now it's become legal because you're damaging her brand. Like, are you willing to go that far to get a story told? And what did they do? They fired these people. They fired Phaedra. They fired Carlos King. Like, you can't do that. Like, it gets to that point. And I feel like you have to know a thin line between what is entertaining and what is damaging. You know what I'm saying?
Because, but did anything happen? Did anything happen on G Status season 1 and season 2 that you felt was just really below the shitter?
I think, so I can go for season 1. It wasn't as bad. I feel like it wasn't as bad. It was kind of like a little below the belt, but a little touchy. The whole homeless narrative with Sherrod, I thought that was a little too much. Like, me personally, I would never talk about where somebody lives. If you're homeless, that is a struggle that a lot of people have, dealt with at one point or another, just to try to make their dreams come true. You know what I'm saying? So I would never take that away from anybody. That's not something that I would ever bash somebody about. Like, bitch, that is so terrible. Like, that is disgusting. the HIV accusation, the subliminal.
That was a lot.
Yeah, that's
lot.
too much. And you know, that came from my old friend. And
that's when you should have stopped fucking with that bitch. It's right there. Right there is when you should have cut that hoe off. Right there.
You know, honestly, he apologized to, but it was just kind of like, oh, I see you, girl, and I'm gonna remember that. I mean, this is almost like these character flaws coming out. It's just like, what are you willing to say, and what are you willing to do, and what are you willing to drop? You know, under the duress of being, you know, entertaining. It's just kind of like, these are borderline like slanderous now. You know, so like even with certain people doing interviews, you know, Sherrod did an interview about, you know, certain situations, how he felt about people, and he slandered me a little bit. You know, I mean, it just gets to a point like, girl, what are y'all willing to do? Now, season 2, the racial things was like the most god awful shit that I've ever seen in my life. You were willing to do that on your show. Like, I'm just like, God, it was kind of like it was in a way, it was worse than what Phaedra actually did to Candy to me. It was like, because at least you're doing this to a particular person, right? Like with Phaedra was going at Candy. Okay. Yeah. That's between them two, really. And, you know, it's dangerous for Candy. But when you come to a place where you're using a community, Black Lives Matter and everything like that, and, you know, endangering lives of, you know, non-Black people, you know, then it's just kind of like, you know, getting some people sending death threats to this particular individual. It's like, girl, you playing with people's lives and nobody's getting paid. Like, we don't do this for free.
So I want to get into the nooks and crevices of that a little bit.
Yeah.
But before we get there, so we now know that you are without friend right now. What contributed to the breakdown of y'all's acquaintanceship?
It has got to a point now, like, where I see that it wasn't necessarily me, and it was just an opportunity that he was using to manipulate certain situations with other people. And then that's when I was just like, you know, then there was a final straw, because I seen the way he manipulated other people, and I seen the way he was moving around and kind of lying about a lot of things, small things that had nothing to do with me. Yeah. But I seen how he treated other people, and I was kind of like, I don't know. And it was too much going on as far as, like, you know, him having duress with other people that I actually worked with, people that, you know, it was just a lot of things. And it was just starting to break down. And I wasn't really speaking to him as often, and we weren't hanging out as much, and we didn't have that camaraderie because the show was over. But we were still cool.
That's for me. You keep talking.
So
mind your business.
I was like, oh yeah, seasoned food. You better get it. But yeah, it just came to a point where it's just kind of like, don't be, you can't be this type of person and be my friend. And just like, and then like my actual friends, people who I've known forever, were telling me like, bitch, you need to get away from that bitch. That bitch is terrible. I'm like,
you knew that hoe was fraudulent. Like, everybody saw that y'all was night and day to begin with. Like, I don't know why you acted so naive, but maybe you know what I think it was. I think you
like, girl, we gonna ride this little wave on out. And he was actually cool to me. Like, he was actually a person who he's told me a lot of things about himself, like about his depression and about suicide and stuff like that. So I felt like, oh girl, you let your guard up, because I didn't like him at first. Like, honestly, people be like, oh, you so best friend. Like, girl, I hated that bitch when I first met him. He was so rude. But then that's how a
narcissist sucks you in, like with the woe is me story and the abuse.
I don't think so. Nobody ever saw his woe with me scene. The scene that we actually shot where we went to out to eat. Well, eating, but we were talking or whatever. He told me everything about himself. I was like, oh, okay, you're an actual human being. That's nice. Yeah. So, it just went from there, and we just hung out after that. We just had fun. It was like, you know, go karaoke, go sing, go, you know, meet.
But this is the psychology, Tramel. Why is it that people can see a bitch being a bitch to every other bitch, but think that somehow, some way, they themselves are going to be immune to the third encounter of the bitchness from that bitch? Because why? It's a story as old as Methuselah.
But when I tell you Methuselah, now listen, what I tell you. So when it comes to him, like I told you, in the situations that we were in, it was more so like certain people, like I told you, carrying around certain things, being trying to get camera time. He never gave it. Now, when the show, this is filming the show, and me getting to know him while filming the show, there were no problems. There was him going at them, you know, them saying what they were saying about him, and him just being like, "Well, bitch, y'all just mad. Like, y'all just mad," and that's what you would say to somebody. It was just like, But then when the show actually comes out, and you're seeing the things that he's saying, his green screens, and you're seeing everything that he really feels, it's kind of like that's different. It hits different, you know. It hits different. The show is out now. People are hating this boy, and it's kind of like, girl.
Do you think that the hate is overrated as someone that did get to deal with him off?
It's due to him, and he was handling it well. He wasn't handling it well. He was actually quite upset and quite hurt that nobody liked him. Like nobody liked him, and they.
But it seemed like he didn't. But it seemed like he. Yeah, I mean, but it seemed like he didn't want anybody to like him. It never felt like
he wanted to love him. Honestly, he wanted.
Well, I know that's what he wanted, but the way he presented himself made that practically impossible. Like you're just meeting Milan for the first time. She's talking about New York Fashion Week. You kind of gag her about a photo shoot on her grandparents' farm. Like, girl, I ain't gonna be there. I'm just like, boo, come on. Like, you can't. That's not a setup for a wonderful evening.
That was right after the whole charade situation.
But even that had nothing to do with.
Well, they were at that point. They was at each other because he was just like, "Don't be saying that about that boy." Then she's like, "Oh, you talking about?" She's like, "Well,
which was really the." But that was the gag. He clocked her about what she said. He went on to say much worse things about Sherrod than what she ever could have said.
And that's real sad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because like I think he's vengeful. He's a vengeful person. And so
because he's hurt.
Like he was doing something, he did a kindness for Sherrod. This is how he felt. He felt like he did a kindness for Sherrod. And when Sherrod didn't automatically take his side, you know, the narcissism is he literally became vengeful and wanted to attack that boy. Like then they were going at each other. Of course, Sherrod was still going at him, but then it was just kind of like, bitch, I'm gonna get you too. Like so, and he just went to deeper places. He was willing to go lower than Sherrod was willing to go. It's not about the fighting in itself. It's just how far you're willing to go to win. You know what I'm saying? And he was willing to go deeper than anybody could imagine, and it made him look like a goddamn fool.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you this: when they go low, I go criminal. Now,
when they go low, bitch, I go up under the goddamn dirt. I go into the gutter somewhere.
Because we're going to talk about some of these other confrontations. Now, you mentioned the Delicious situation. Talk to me about the racial shit, because this became a big talking point on social media between Akeem and Delicious and the term nigger or nigga. What was that for you? What happened in that situation?
Are we talking about...
And hold on. Well, yeah, I'm going to lead you in, actually. So, the fans felt like production took a long time to let it be known that Delicious was even using the term nigga. Had she been using that term before it showed up in the episodes? Like, did she come in with what's up, nigga? Like, was that just a part of her vernacular from the start?
So let's be clear. Me and Delicious were acquainted. Like,
okay.
Like I met her maybe like in the mix of season 1. I met her one time. She was with Safar, and she seemed very nice, very sweet. She was very quiet, didn't say too much. You know what I'm saying? So finding out she was on season 2 as a cast member was kind of like, okay, cool. You know, because I had already met her. I knew her as a person, you know, or whatever. But I never filmed with her. Never filmed one-on-one with her. The first time that I actually saw her again was at the hibachi problem situation, and she barely said anything. Like honestly, I forgot that she was there.
How?
I didn't know she was there. No, I didn't know she was there. Like when I was doing my confessionals about the hibachi situation, they were like, "So what did you think about
infamous rice dinner?"
Yeah, I was like, "What did you think about?" They were like, "What did you think about this?" I was like, "She wasn't there." They're like, "She was there." I'm like, "No, she wasn't." They were like, "Yes, she was." Then they had to actually show me a clip of her actually sitting there. I was like,
"Yikes!"
Oh.
Yikes!
So I didn't really know she was there. She really was like. But then there were scenes that I was not present for. So I was not present for the barbecue situation where she and Charlie got into it. I'd only heard about it.
What did you think about it before we move on? What did you think about?
The only thing I knew about that situation was that Charlie had told her to cut her dick off. Nobody ever said nothing about nigga. This was a year ago when we were filming. So nobody ever said anything about it. But then she also said that she fucked Charlie. So that was the main running storylines for both of them.
Now, when you saw the episode back, though, what did you think about what happened at the barbecue between Delicious and Charlie and Everett?
I thought it was quite unfortunate. I thought it was very disgusting. Like it was kind of like, girl, what are y'all doing? Like y'all willing to do that? But
who did you think was at fault? Who started the bullshit? Because a lot of people blame Delicious for the bullshit.
I feel like they both had an equal hand in it, honestly. I mean,
who was they?
Delicious and Charlotte. I feel like they were both doing things that they should not have done. They were saying things that they should not have said to each other. Yeah, it was. I've had conversations with both of them about it, and I was like, both of y'all crazy. Yeah,
this is my thing. This is my thing about that scene, right? I felt like Devon started that whole shit at the barbecue. I'm gonna tell you why. Even though Delicious took the heat for it, Delicious put her friend aside, away from everybody, and disclosed the sit down with her and Charlie to her friend. Oh, what's the guy's name? Because I don't know his name.
Brandon.
Is it Brandon? Okay, yeah, with Brandon. Devon was the one who wanted to drag Brandon back to the cookout and have him openly confront Charlie about the situation. And he was also in his confessional being honest about the fact that he was being petty, he was being messy, he wanted to shake the girls up, and yet Delicious took the heat, even though she handled her portion respectfully. She just wanted to make sure that her friend knew, but she didn't necessarily do that in a way that warranted confrontation. And so I didn't understand. I felt like I was looking at a whole different clip based upon the way other people interpreted those events versus the way that I interpreted those events. I also didn't know why Charlie could not have just been honest about the fact that him and his friend was shading Brandon. Like, it's so like we're all gay. We know what the fuck shade is. Nobody is misinterpreting shade. Nobody will ever misinterpret shade. If I was Brandon, I felt like you bitches were being shady too, but not shady to the point where we couldn't have still been cool, because I'm just not that pressed about things like that anyway. But duly noted, it was fucking shady. Did you feel like the comments they made about where he worked were shady, in fact, or that it was as sweet and virtuous and as innocent as they tried to make it out? Girl, no. Like, did you feel that it was from a place of Christ or a place of Atlanta?
Girl. They know that was shady. They know that was shady. They knew
so why you think that these real thorough ass bitches couldn't stand in the thorough ass truth? Like, hoes be talking all that shit.
This is how they rationalized it. Even in the scene, they try to rationalize it. It was just like, girl, you work at California Pizza Kitchen, like, girl, and I work at Dillard's, girl. It's not no tea, girl. We work where we work. I was just like, okay, so you trying to say you're not making fun of where he works because you work in retail. And so y'all, you shading his job and him serving you at one point makes you better, but you still on the same level because it's not shade, because you still have a 9 to 5 just like everybody else. So there's no shade there, but y'all were trying to be shady, but it wasn't that deep shade. It was just shade. And it's kind of like, why are you trying to explain how deep your shade is? It's kind of like childish to be. Like, girl, you shaded the boy. I would have just said, yeah, girl, I said it. I mean,
yeah, but we didn't mean it maliciously.
I don't do that weird weird shit. Like, bitch, if I say something shady about you, yeah, girl, I said it. What's up?
Yeah. That's what I was so confused by. I was just like, girl, just say, yeah, like we shaded you, but it was light. There was nothing malicious by it. Yeah, we had a kiki, and we're sorry if it offended you.
Things underlying there. There was some other conversations that were had that were actually cut from the scene. There were conversations where somebody, we don't know who, honestly, I don't know who, but somebody had alleged that Brandon was a prostitute or something along those lines, and that scene got cut because somebody had told him that. And so when he brought that up, because he wasn't really mad about the place of his employment, he was more so mad that, you know, they were trying to, you know, make him out to be like a prostitute and trying to belittle his work and his worth, you know. So that's where it really was coming from. And it was just like, girl, I'm not coming for y'all like that, so why y'all doing this to me? So there was like a lot of underlying. So when you see the scene, it's kind of like, it looks crazy as fuck, because
it does.
Yelling at them, I'm like, girl, you work at California Pizza Kitchen, but he's looking like, bitch, you actually called me a prostitute, girl. So what I think somebody around y'all called me a prostitute and y'all was sitting there trying to play me. So it's really a different type of energy, but the conversation looks weird. So yeah,
well,
it's a lot.
Should exotic dancers and go-go boys be put in the same category as adult entertainers? Since initially at the infamous Rice dinner, there did seem to be a fallout between Brandon and Sherrod about something about porn or whatever the case may be. Something, well, not Sherrod, but maybe Roman. Is it Romance or Roman? Yeah. What's his name?
Roman.
Okay, yeah, there was some type of Twitter over adult something, but then production played the shady clips of Brandon twerking it down in his jock, and it was just like interesting. Do those people should they be lumped all in the same stripper, go-go dancer, exotic dancer, porn star? Like, is it all adult entertainment at the end of the day?
All I say is there's no rules to whatever you're willing to do with yourself. That's your business. That's your money maker. If that's your money maker, that's your money maker. I wouldn't say, I would say keep your titles the way you want to keep your titles, and people should respect that. Like if you are a escort, then bitch, I'm an escort. But if you just are a stripper or exotic dancer, excuse me. If you're an exotic dancer, bitch, I'm just an exotic dancer. I don't have to be. If I'm doing both, then bitch, I'm both. So it's just kind of like, don't do that to people. Like that's when things get slanderous. It's just like what people want to be called is what their actual job titles are. If he's a go-go boy, call him a go-go boy. Don't call him a escort, adult entertainer, prostitute, whatever you want to call. Don't call him that. Call him what he is.
Yeah, I'm gonna call people by what they want to be called by, but personally, I'm just like, girl. Same box.
I mean,
like, and it's
and what I tell people, whatever you do in the privacy of your own home, whatever you call them to your friends, that's different. Now, what you call them to their face and what you call them on national TV, that's different. You can't be saying that type of stuff, because then that just puts people in a weird place. You know what I'm saying? And then you got to deal with the fallout from that.
Because it was weird that all these people had participated in all this shit that they couldn't take ownership of. Like, here it is, you had Brandon kind of having a conservative view about porn stars or sex workers, but then like you sell the fantasy of sex, which is really the same thing. Like Sherrod just does it physically. You create the illusion of sex and arousal through exotic dancing. Then you had Dre Sember shading Sherrod, but then production shows his throat busted open with lime green lollipop stains on it in some fucking back stall room of Target, and I'm just like, what is this? Like, first of all, how is everybody ultimately doing the same shit, but no, everybody's insecure about the shit that they're doing? Like,
you know what? What bothers me the most is that this is not that we're talking about it now, but it's just like people's sexual things are the mainstay of this damn show. This is like, you have all these people who integrate all this sex into the show, and this is like, when I look at Chasing Atlanta and other platforms, they don't do that. They really are about the business. They're about the work. They're about their actual careers. You know what I'm saying? Like, bitch, your song is trash, bitch, or your hair, the hair that you sell is tacky. You know, shit like that. Like,
Yeah.
So when you get to a place of like sex work and like for entertainment, like sex work and he's a hoe and who's sleeping with who boyfriend and who sucked whose dick in a bathroom stall, it's kind of like, God damn. And then you posting and then you're actually putting these snippets of this sex work in your actual show. Like, where are we? And you think people actually legit like want that attached to their brands and their names? Like, you're literally ruining lives at this point. It was like, girl, they doing that on the dark web, honey. You bringing this to YouTube. It's like, girl, what are you doing?
That was a lot. I felt like production was honestly so inappropriate for some of those flashback moments. Like, I could have did without the visual of December on his knees. Like, I could have did without.
You got to see where that's coming from, though. You got to see who you're dealing with. That's what I'm saying. It's kind of like December it was very open about his departure from the show. He was very open about his disdain for production. So, boom,
I would have a disdain. I would have a disdain for production too. I mean,
no, he said all these things before the first episode came out. So what they do to him, they post that in the
so that was them being retaliatory.
Like, when did
production
you get to a place where
production
you sacrifice professionalism to like, right? Like, you literally put that in your show to be petty with this person. It's just like, girl, what the fuck?
No wonder December was whipping ass and taking names, just whipping ass and taking names, whipping ass and taking names, baby. Yeah, that's really too much.
It was hard to watch. Like, it was hard. Yeah, to watch. I was just like, you know.
So speaking of December, I like December, but I felt like he opened himself up to shit going really left because I know you weren't in the scene where they went to the HIV and STI awareness sit down where the infamous fight happened, but did you understand why he was why did everybody ride Sherrod so hard about this porn issue? Why? Porn stars to me are just people who are having sex just with the camera on, but nonetheless they're taking dick and sucking dick and eating ass and getting their ass ate like the rest of us are. They just happen to have a camera rolling at the time. So I don't know what this big distinguish is between everyday people and adult entertainers. These people aren't any nastier than anybody else. You just have the luxury of watching them, unlike me and you, when we're getting our freak on in the privacy of our home. But we're all getting our freak on. So what is this fucking line of demarcate? To me, there is no line of demarcation between the porn star and anybody else who's fucking. I mean, we're all fucking.
I believe that now. We're all nasty now. We is some nasty motherfuckers in this world. I mean, but what you're willing to do for, I mean, the conversation me and Sherrod had about it was, it might have been chopped up to look crazy, but what I literally told this young man was, girl, if you're going to have sex on camera, girl, there ain't nothing wrong with that. I literally told him that. I'm like, bitch, ain't nothing wrong with it if you're going to keep continuing to do it. But his whole thing was he didn't want nobody to bring it up to him. I'm like, well, that's not ever going to happen.
Realistic. Yeah, that's not even realistic.
I'm just realistically telling him, like, girl, you have to be more confident in what you got going on. Just say, bitch, I'm doing this. I'm making money off of it, whatever the case may be. Say that. Don't let nobody take. And the fact that he did not take my advice in the beginning was the reason why it became such a big storyline, because if he took my advice in the beginning, they could never have got to him the way they got to him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. People on that cast have found a vulnerability in him about, a place of, oh, I want to change. I don't want people to look at me this way. They would attack that part of you. But if you
they see that he's insecure, and they see that he's insecure about it, so they sniff out the blood of that.
Yeah, they found a weak spot in him, and which is nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with showing vulnerability and showing like a something. But it comes to a point where it's like, bitch, stand up and say, girl, I do it. I'm doing this. This is what I do. Yeah. So fuck y'all. If y'all don't like it, bitch, y'all not paying none of my bills. Like, at the end of the day, like, I'm doing this thing. So if he had just done that, it wouldn't have been as bad for him. It would not have been it wasn't even bad for him. He was a fan favorite because a lot of people felt the way that I told him to feel. Like, bitch, I need to leave that boy alone. Like, honestly, the conversation that we had and then the confessionals that I did, it was just like, bitch, I mean, he been around the block. It was kind of like, whatever. But I was like, he's still cool. Yeah. I never really went for him, like, with the sex shit like that. But, I mean, of course, I piggybacked off a few things. It eventually, like, along the line.
Yeah,
but
honestly, you never went in.
Not the person. Yeah. I was not really the one who wanted to tear him down about his you know, his sexual, you know, behaviors, because like we have our own, but I'm not gonna call him out of his name. I ain't gonna call him She was a fucking prostitute, a whore. I'm just like, it's just too much. Like, girl, they and so the whole thing at the talk that they had, the HIV awareness, you know, I just felt like, God damn, it was too much.
Yeah. Well, let me just have a moment of silence for Sherrod real quick. I want to thank you for your contribution to the adult industry, because you give the type of porn that I would completely follow in the steps of, because you're a nasty bitch and I love it. And I feel like that's exactly how porn is supposed to be. Ratchet, untamed, ungodly, unruly, sinful, transgressional, just abominable. Like, if you're going to do fucking porn, do fucking porn. I don't want to see no dry ass clapping when I go to turn on a flick. I don't want to see no half-baked middle-aged ass niggas trying to give us a good run on this. If you gonna do it, bitch, be folded like a pretzel, get your back exorcism down the staircase on the dick on. Like, I'm gonna need all of that. Okay, Sherrod. So I your work for me, it's a yes. Legendary, boo. Don't you let nobody take that away from you, okay? Because you've given those of us who put a flick on from time to time in order to keep our body count down, you've given us a good, you've made it possible, honey, to keep it all in our jaws. So
he saved lives. He saved me. He saved your body count.
Yes, save my body count, baby. Well, I ain't making no shit.
Amen.
Think about it. So reminding me that
that's why I think. You know, I've always thought that, you know, I was like, bitch, do what you do, girl. And what I told him, I was like, girl, if you don't want to do porn, I'm gonna stop doing it. He was just like,
you know, you
talk about what I do in the privacy of my own home or in front of cameras. I'm like, well, bitch, the privacy of your own home has been in front of cameras. It's like, girl, you talking? Just put the camera down. Do what you do.
But this is,
if you want to stop, just stop. I mean, ain't nobody telling you not to have sex. If you want to have sex, bitch, have sex. If you don't want to do it on camera, stop putting the camera up.
You're right. Like, you're right. But see, that's the thing. And I think, you know, I will reach out to him and see if I can have a sit down with him too, because I think he's interesting. I would love to talk to him. But I think the issue, I think the issue with Sherrod was that he actually personally didn't have an issue with what he did. I think it was an issue of what he would put up with based upon what other people thought about what he did, you know? And a lot of people are kind of hindered by other people's perception in all areas of life, whether it's, you know, being born into a religious family and not being so religious, or having another set of beliefs that you are afraid of, or just having different lifestyle practices that are different from the community you come from, and being afraid of the ridicule, the rejection, the backlash. So to me, it seemed like Sherrod personally doesn't really have an issue with it, but what he doesn't like about it, which is what none of us like about any choice we make, is the social backlash from those choices that we make for our lives. So hopefully he can Iyanla, you know, that whole thing and repair that. But moving forward, back to this delicious thing, the race shit. So, nigger, what are you?
It was
first of all, nigga. First of all, I like Delicious. I think Delicious is a bad bitch. Like, she is so hood and she's fun. Like, she's a diffuser. Like, and I love that. Even at the infamous rice dinner, when everybody was getting crunk, Delicious was there trying to make light of everything, just, you know, gobbling down her shrimp, pouring the niggas wine, like feeding niggas off her titties, like just trying to keep the mood lit, like, you know, like, and I was here for that. And she always seemed to go into scenes just open, wanting to just turn up and be light and be cute. And when the backlash started with the whole nigga term, it got interesting for me. But before I give you my dissertation, You as a Black man in America, especially in the social climate, how did you feel about Delicious being a non-African woman using the term nigga or any variation of the word?
I think, I mean, I'm just going to speak from a place of realism. Honestly, when you are someone like Delicious, who's obviously been amongst African Americans, you've been amongst like Black people, period. You've been, you know, I've only
she got adopted into the culture because she was raised amongst it.
I've only ever seen her around people of color, like Black individuals. So watching it, because she never actually said it in my presence, you know what I'm saying? But watching it and knowing the type of person that I knew her to be, because honestly, I didn't really start talking to Delicious until after we were done filming. Like, we didn't start getting cool until after we were done filming, you know? So knowing the type of person that she is now and knowing what it looks like for her, it's just so sad. It's sad to see. I know she has a lot of learning to do. Nobody's never told her that's not, that people will be offended by her saying it on camera or in front of people. It's like, of course, she's like I said, bitch, you say whatever you want to say in your house. Like, you know, I'm pretty sure a lot of non-Black people say a lot of things in the privacy of their own home in a derogatory way, but with her, it was never, in her mind, it was never derogatory, but she just needs the education. She needed the learning experience, which was a missed opportunity in my book.
Yeah.
So, because that was never a conversation while we were filming. It only became a conversation when it aired. You know what I'm saying?
When it aired, okay.
So it turned into this backlash. Now, when she said that lynch word, that was different.
Okay, hold on. Lynch, like, what you mean? What word? Lynch. Oh, she said lynch. When? Like in the moment I heard, like
that same episode, like was in the episode after that when she said she would lynch. She would have Charlie. She could have Charlie lynched. Now, her coming from a
oh God, see, Delicious. I was gone, girl. I was.
Okay. This is the thing. It's like,
make it make sense to me.
No, this is the thing. I was with her when we watched that episode, right? She told me that she asked production not to put that in there because her saying, and her honestly saying, this is what she told me. She did not know what that word meant to Black people. She did not know what that word meant. She only knew that word as a way to like jump someone. You know what I'm saying? Because she comes from a gang past. You know what I'm saying? From California. Even the person that she said it to when she was talking about Charlie did not know what it mean. And she said that to Redrick, African-American male. Redrick did not know what the word meant. So he was not checking. He did not check Delicious about what she said. He did not say anything to her about the word and the meaning and how could she say something like that. He did not. So nobody knew that this word ever was spoken, right? But production, the producers, right? So when Delicious is doing her confessional, she's doing her confessionals and they're like, well, this word means this, Delicious. And she was just like, well, don't put that in there. I don't want to offend anyone. Like, I did not mean it in that way. That's not what I want to be.
Well, is she also claiming that she didn't know what the term nigga meant either?
Oh, she knew what that meant. She knew what that meant. Now,
well, if she knew what that meant, I'm sure she knew what lynch meant as well.
Well, I'm not gonna pick
words. I'm sure she's never used lynch to describe a gangbang session with non-Blacks and opponents. I'm sure of it.
This is the only thing I'm thinking about is like, okay, so me looking at her when she said the word, when it actually aired, because they actually put it in the episode, without her knowing about it. I mean, she had to know they were gonna put it because they put in there what they want to put in there when they want to put it in there. So her saying that word and her reaction was very different than somebody who was truly racist to me. She was just so like everybody in the room. She walked over to them individually and she was crying. She was like, Tramel, I'm so sorry that you had to hear that from me. That is not what I meant. And she said, I'm so sorry that that could hurt you in any way, shape, or form. Like her crying and then the other reactions afterwards. It was kind of like, okay, I'm not for like completely forgiving of the situation, but it's kind of like, girl, you know what you did. And now I can watch you closer, and I'm not going to throw you away as a person because this is a learning moment for you. And now it turns into a different situation. And I want her to understand, like, you can't say certain things. You got to move different. You got to be a better person. You got to be a better you, because people are watching you, and you can't just go around saying whatever you want to say and not knowing what these things allegedly mean or what they could mean to someone else. You have to be more respectful of a community that has adopted you, and a community that you move around in. You know what I'm saying? So I am always willing to give her those opportunities to learn. I'm willing to give anybody those opportunities to learn. It's just what you do with the knowledge afterwards. Like, girl, you can't make no more mistakes like this. This just can't be a thing for you. Otherwise, it's going to be what they say you are. And I think she's made great strides. She's changed. Like, even in the show, like, you won't ever really see, if you ever show her, moving from that situation, they turned it into something else, you know.
Yeah, because it kind of became about a trans. It kind of became about a trans, the cis man thing, rather than the race thing.
But see, the thing is, it's like they was already building. I feel like, because me being the smart bitch that I am, they was already building up to this, like from the production side to me, because they were feeding certain cast members certain lines about Delicious that they wanted them to say to kind of like put her in this racial category in a way, because I felt like they knew that it was kind of like coming. Having certain cast members call her a white woman.
No.
Like, for no reason. Like, why are you calling her a white woman? You know she's not a white woman. We on shot with this girl for 6 months, 6.5 months of filming with this girl. You know she's not white. You know she's Mexican. So you're like, who is this white girl? You get in your confessionals. Who is this white girl? Who's this white woman over here? Y'all know she's not white, and y'all just filmed that a week ago. Like, don't do that.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. When I first saw her, I thought she was a white.
I'm not talking about y'all. I'm talking about this, because this is the thing. When you think somebody, what people don't understand is how TV works. Is if somebody says something on a show and you actually are listening to this person, you like this person in a way. If they say something about somebody that you don't have any knowledge of or that you don't too much care for, you automatically believe it, or you'll try to find ways to defend that situation. So if you like a certain cast member but you don't like Delicious, if they call Delicious a white woman, you're like, oh, look at that white girl. And she say, nigga, oh, she racist because she a white woman. She ain't supposed to be saying that and all this other stuff. And this is like, then it becomes, it starts to trickle down. And then when people see certain comment, that's when that starts to trickle down. And people are not original. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I've seen the same comment about me personally, about myself. I've seen it like 15, 14 times. I'm like, girl, y'all ain't got no original thoughts. Like, what the fuck is going on? This is like different people saying the same thing. It's just like,
yeah,
I know y'all all don't have like the same opinion of me, because that is not possible. Like, everybody has their own brain, but people.
Yeah, because I love you.
You're the only one, because they hate me.
Oh, and well, you only need me, so it's okay.
They hate me because of this. Like, I feel like season 2 was a disaster for me because of the Delicious situation. Because me knowing that Delicious, the real reason why Delicious and Akeem fought, me knowing the real reason is kind of like, girl, it wasn't because she said the N-word. If it was, okay, but it wasn't.
Okay, well, don't keep no secrets here. Why the fuck did they fight?
Because he grabbed her shoe. He grabbed her shoe out her hand, and he was...
Okay, well, before we get there, let me address the Delicious part. Then we can get into Akeem and Delicious. Well, I didn't know about the lynching shit. That kind of done...
Oh, you need to watch these shows, baby.
I'm gonna have to dish real hard to restart again with Delicious after the lynching comment. But just on the term nigger alone, that's a 2-part issue, because on one end, I'm definitely holding the community that embraced the Black community that embraced her responsible, because it was their job to let her know what time it was and to let her know that, look, we are the gatekeepers as Black people of the N-word. So just because I give you permission and I feel comfortable based upon your proximity to me to say that word, don't get carried away and think that you can just go out and say that to any other Black person, because it'll be up to them to decide if you can participate in that language or not. So I'm upset that the society and the community she was raised up in didn't properly inform her, and then she took that ignorance with her, and now she's kind of been canceled, and she's going through this whole Monique experience of being blackballed off the show, etc., because of ignorance on behalf of the culture, but ignorance also on behalf of her. Because I also can't imagine someone who's been brought up in the culture. But let's just say that you were raised up in the Black community and you didn't know what the fuck lynching was, but you heard the term nigga because nigga is sensationalized. Everybody knows the term nigga at this point. It's used in rap songs, pop songs, whatever. However, between Breonna Taylor's death, between George Floyd's death, between Ahmaud Arbery, between Sandra Bland, between Mike Brown, between all these, Trayvon Martin, now we're living in a very racially intense era, having real Black ass racial conversations. I can't imagine that you would still not know what the fuck lynching is, considering that we're in this era and have been in this era of time for the past several years now. So that it's hard for me to believe that she's uninformed, and it all looks too convenient for someone who looks like Delicious, who is non-Black, to first of all already be using the term nigga, and then to throw out the term lynch toward a nigga. And then the excuse is, I didn't know. I don't believe that about the lynching. I think she knows exactly what the fuck she did and what the fuck she said. But, and on the term nigga, I can believe there's no malice in her heart, because we do embrace non-Black people, and they're raised up with us, and they relate to the culture and the community the way that we do. So I can give her that on nigga. But lynching, she can kiss my ass when it
The problem is there was no me personally, the way I feel about it is there was no conversation had with her of knowledge given, you know what I'm saying, when it was needed. It was more reactionary, you know what I'm saying? It's just like the person that she said it to was a Black person. She said the word lynch to a Black person, and that person claims that they did not know what it meant. So it's not, for me, listening to this person who is Black say they didn't even know what it meant, not lying, saying this in private to me, it's kind of like, why would I give you a pass of not knowing what it means? Because you're a whole Black person. You grew up where you grew up in the South, and you know what it means. You should know what it means. So I can't really hold her to, I can only hold her to what she does afterwards, knowing now what it means. You know what I'm saying? That's my whole thought process about it. And
well, guess what? I'm also going to say to non-Black people, if you're that uninformed about the culture, stay the fuck out of it. Stay the fuck out of it, because shit is real cute when you at the Jay-Z concert getting to recite the term nigga. Everything is real cute and cozy and popping hunky goddamn dory until it's a motherfucking bat going up against the side of your fucking head, because you in the wrong place at the wrong time saying the wrong shit. So my issue with a lot of non-Black persons who love the culture is because that culture is birthed out of a lot of hurt and pain and a lot of racial dynamics. You can't just deal with the surface and the superficial part of the culture. You got to understand
you got to dig
the people in which you're relating to, and you're following behind, and you're mimicking, and you're styling yourself behind, and you're inspired by, especially when it comes to language. Because as African American people with a long racial history, with a racial history that has existed since the dawn of this country, language, lynching, brutality, violence upon Black and brown bodies, those things are real things. And I want to say on one end, I feel bad for non-Black people, but I don't. It's just like I wouldn't go to India and just be willy-nilly. Like, I wouldn't go into no other foreign country and not understand the customs and the traditions. And I would not expect to get away with being ignorant because I choose to be a foreigner in this land. She's not black. So you already know there's a discrepancy. You're not a black woman. So because of that, you need to further that education, boo, because she is likable. I do think she's a sweetheart. I think she's awesome, but we got to keep our foot on non-white people's neck because there's already, I mean, on non-black persons, Mexican, Latino, non-black persons.
It's not about, like I said, it's initial, of course. Like, girl, I heard what you said. I'm gonna tell you why that's wrong.
Because y'all wouldn't give a Donald Trump that. Because y'all wouldn't give a.
I don't care if you didn't know before, bitch. I'm telling you now.
Y'all wouldn't give Donald Trump that same pass if he used the term lit. Donald Trump don't even claim to be raced up amongst the people. He don't even claim to have.
I give everybody chances. I would give you one chance. Like, everybody deserves a chance. Everybody deserves. You can't, like, so when people, this is what's wrong with black people. I ain't even gonna lie to you. What's wrong with black people is we like to sit up there and tell somebody, oh, bitch, you wrong, but you don't give a person a chance to be right. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to tell you you're wrong and not give you a chance to be right. Because I want to see if the conversation that I'm having with you is bearing fruit. Because at the end of the day, you can't just say, oh, she said what she said, I'm just going to be done with her. Or you can't say it to every single person that you come across, because we will never get anywhere. You have to start turning these people who can help you. You know, I told Delicious one thing, and I will leave it at that, and we can just move on to the next thing, because I do respect what you're saying. No, I do respect what you're saying. But I told her, I said, it's a powerful thing. It's a powerful thing. And nobody will ever really know what it's like to be a minority in this country and be labeled as a racist. She's Mexican. She's a minority. So to be labeled,
I don't feel sorry for it.
Something real different. So it takes a level of understanding that I don't have, but I can give her the knowledge of saying, girl, don't ever say that again. And this is why. This is what it means. And moving forward, I have to watch you and see if you learn, if you want to put that into effect. And I think for the most part, she has. She's amazing. She's a good person. She's not out here to hurt nobody. She really is not out here to hurt nobody. But people have literally come to this girl's inbox threatening to kill her. And she's been crying, she's been sad, she's been literally beating herself up about the things, and and I'm not saying that we should feel bad for her, but kicking somebody when they're down is not going to build up anything within somebody else. You know what I'm saying? So me beating her down while she already on the ground, I'm gonna give you this knowledge while you're there, so you can build yourself back up, and then come to me and look me straight in my face and say, I was wrong, and this is why. And that's all I want for anybody who is, but bitch, if you going around and you do the same shit over and over and over again, bitch, you was a racist. I mean, Trump, I would give him a chance. I would have given him a chance a long time ago, but that bitch is crazy. Now, he different. He real different. Everybody don't told him, they don't gave him chance after chance after chance. And for him to sit up on the biggest platform that he could possibly sit on at a damn debate and tell people, well, I'm the least racist person in the room. And, I will denounce black, denounce, the KKK and everything like that. And he will not do it. That is different. That is somebody who knows what the fuck is going on. And even if he knew, and he's not changing. Even if she did know, she's changing it. Because I told her that it hurt me. A lot of people around her told her that it hurt them. And she wants to protect the relationships that she has with us. So that's a start. Trump ain't trying to change that.
Look, I don't blame any of you guys for not deleting Delicious. I understand the compassion that you guys are having and the understanding, because even I can accept that Delicious is not a fucked up person. I like her, but
I mean,
take.
it takes everybody. It takes a certain type of mind,
Well,
and it takes a certain type. You would have to meet her. Like if you just met her, you would see. I mean, but everybody's not going to get a chance to meet her.
And I didn't. Yeah.
And one thing about these platforms is that they really don't give people opportunities to actually get to know us. I know for me personally, they don't tell y'all nothing about me. They don't tell y'all goddamn shit about me. They don't edited me to a little small place in a corner somewhere, and they just want to pull me out and use me for when they want to use me. But you know, we have me personally. I'm not even talking about Delicious no more. I have a great personality, and I think I'm like one of the nicest people. Everybody on the cast love me, but they make it seem like everybody want to attack me. It just be so weird to me. It's just weird.
Okay, so let's get into everybody attacking you and Delicious before we bounce.
Okay.
Just keep it together, boo. If you're listening and you come to see this, just take heed and just breathe and just, you know what? I want to, but let me tell you something about me. When it comes to certain areas of conversation, there's no Band-Aid for me. We're going to rip that shit off. We're going to rip that Band-Aid the fuck off. And I'm not sure that a lot of people can. And I'm not sure that a lot of people can handle.
She's gonna listen to you. She's gonna listen to you. If you want to talk about it, just let her know that you want to talk about it and let her tell her side. You can tell her whatever you want to tell her. She's not gonna combat you. Honestly, she's not a combative type of person when it comes to that stuff because she knows she was wrong.
I wouldn't be afraid of her combating me. It would
I'm saying
more so about the nuclear impact of me combating her would be the issue because I make it clear to non-Black people and I make it very clear to privileged people, very, very, very clear, so that we are absolutely clear. So that ass whipping, it would be a little rough, but also that would show me the sincerity of her repentance, because people who truly do get it and empathize, they take those ass whippings with their head held high because they get it.
Yeah,
they get it. So if she was willing to have a conversation, I would want to have a conversation. I feel like her side is necessary. There are non-Black people like her that grow up with us, and there is a conversation to be had about those intersections and, you know, just furthering our understanding. So I think that it'd be necessary for sure. So I like Delicious. I will probably reach out to her at some point. But before I do, let's get more into your messiness, because I think somebody might be real happy that the rest of season 2 is not playing out right now based upon the way that super trailer looks. What the fuck is going on with you and Roman? There's a whole altercation in the trailer between you and him outside of Burger King. Something about I don't know, something about something. And then there's a lot of comments that apparently he's made about things I guess y'all have done in the privacy of y'all's homes. What is your response to what is your relationship to Roman now, and what was it then?
What is it now? It's like it's pretty much nothing. I mean, we exchanged like a few messages recently. Just I pretty much told him like I'm not continuing on with the show, and with moving forward with this reunion conversation that they want to have, because it's just really like at this point it's like I'm not about to sit here and have a whole conversation with him about a situation that means nothing to neither one of us in actuality, and that I don't have any beef with him. So that's where we are now. To be perfectly honest, what the whole situation was it was to me, and this is only to me, I don't know what he would say. You better have to ask him. And I'm totally fine with whatever he says, because at this point, it don't even matter to me. But what the situation was for me was, it was an opportunity to get to know someone like him. You know what I'm saying? On a different type of level outside of the cameras or whatever. You know, we exchanged a few conversations as far as via text messages, maybe a few phone calls, like over a span of like maybe 2 weeks. We went on a date.
Come on, date. Yeah, you was getting your dating on a lot during season 2. Huh? It was. I said, huh?
We went on 2 dates.
Like Yeah,
I went
that's
on
real
one day
cute
on
for you.
camera and one day off camera. So
Very, very off camera.
yeah, it was off camera. And so, you know, whatever happened is whatever happened. One time.
Yes.
I'm not gonna talk about that. But anyway, because what he said wasn't even what happened. But what
How did you feel saying that on national internet, like him to get so explicit about?
Yeah, it was kind of like, damn, so this is my whole thing, and it's not nothing against anybody. It's really only about production, honestly.
Yeah.
So moving into the date that we actually had, we had a conversation about production and about the situations that, you know, we were all in or whatever, who he liked, who he didn't like, and how he felt about, you know, being on the show. Of course, we talked about that. So it was expressed to me that they told him that he was boring. He wasn't really bringing anything to the season. You know, he wasn't as exciting as they wanted him to be. So
I think I see where you're going with this one.
Yeah, so he wasn't exciting as he used to be, and I was just like, oh, I'm sorry. Like it was really like one of those type of things. So you know, we move on into a different situation of you know, the next day after he was like really like kind of weird about. I guess they wanted to film something of him personally, like for his birthday or something. With the production, and he was kind of like upset about that, and he kind of like took it out on me a little bit because when I talked to him about it, I hung up in my face a couple of times. I know that's why he was upset. It wasn't nothing towards me. But, you know, I don't deal with that whole hanging up in my face stuff because it ain't having nothing to do with me. It really wasn't mine. So I don't think he was getting the type of exposure that he wanted. He wasn't getting invited to certain scenes that he felt like would have been more interesting than what he, I guess, had going on.
Who is in control of the invites? Is it those who are having the event, or is it production?
It
who
depends.
decides who gets?
If I were to have an, we're gonna do hypothetical. If I were to have an event and I wanted production to come film it, I would tell them like, this is not for everybody, or I don't want certain people there, and they would respect that particular thing. So, but if you just like, oh well, you know, I'm having an event, you know, they can all come. They would invite everybody, or invite certain people that they feel like would benefit the scene more than others.
Got it.
But there was an event that Ike had that he only invited a certain group of people that he actually knew because he didn't have that many tickets to give. He couldn't put that many people's name on the list, right? So Roman, Sherrod, and some others were not invited. So we run into Sherrod after the event, and Sherrod is telling us that, oh, Roman's having a birthday party, production's filming a birthday party for him. And so I asked him about it or whatever, and he was just like, I don't want to do that shit. They got me fucked up and da-da-da-da-da. I guess they were trying to make him do something like around that, just to give him some footage, I guess, of, you know, him doing something. So he didn't want to do that, I guess. So he called me back and he was just like, oh, well, you know, I had to get some stuff straight. And he was just kind of like upset. I guess he didn't get invited to Ike's event. And, you know, that was pretty much the end of it. So then we move on for like another month.
First of all, who the fuck recruited Roman? I mean, does production not ask people who they are to find out if they even are interesting enough to have a reason to be filmed to begin with? And then I think a lot of this wouldn't even happen if production would take time out to actually scout out interesting people who have things going on.
We all know why he was picked. We all know. Yeah, we all know. It's whatever they highlight of this person. Whenever they highlight something, that's why they were picked. So,
okay.
He looks a particular type of way, and he has a particular type of following on Instagram. So that's why he was picked. He was picked. Honestly, I feel like they picked him for that, and then they were hoping that some other things would come of that. You know what I'm saying? And that's no shade to anybody. Like, that's why they constantly showed him, you know, without a shirt on the show, you know, a couple of times, and supposed to be this sexy person, you know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much, I feel like, why he was picked.
Can we put a pin in it right there real quick? I feel like the reason why reality TV has kind of really gone downhill, including Love and Hip Everything, is because too much of what put on TV is based on aesthetic. I remember shows like Real Chance at Love and I Love New York and Flavor of Love, where they had dingy, goofy bitches who had personality on the show. The shows were quirky. The shows were interesting because people had personalities that were worth shooting and capturing. But now reality TV has kind of evolved into this pretty girl, pretty boy genre. And so it falls flat a lot of times, which is why a lot of the drama has to then be manufactured, because you're having to give people personality and substance that's not there organically. And a lot of that don't have to be the case when you just find interesting people to put in situations together. Do you feel like that?
I feel
As
like
it relates to
they
reality
should.
TV?
I feel like they should have put, people, because that's why the second season cast, a lot of them had a lot of things going on. They had a lot of great aspects to themselves. They had a lot of great personalities. I was actually very excited to work with this cast of people. You know what I'm saying? And even with Roman, I'm not gonna bash that man about what he was there for, because I honestly, I'm just, that's my opinion, honestly. But from what is shown on the show, he's shown as a person who's pretty much in the back, not really like saying too much, but he'll give you one or two little quick little, one-liners every now and then, and he's pretty much just, been just that. And people have taken to that. And that's a good thing if they like it, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's working for him. But when we were filming, of course, when you're filming something, they looking at, well, girl, you really ain't filmed that much stuff and you ain't been this controversial. So you coming off boring. So I'm going to try to edit you to look a certain type of way, but I still need a little bit of drama for you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm pretty sure that was conversations that was had with, because honestly, production had told me that they had spoken with him multiple times, just on
about him having to step his pussy up.
Not even that, just like having just casual conversations with him, which I thought was completely inappropriate. So having casual conversations with him, I guess it must have come up that him and me had a date and it didn't go right, and how he felt about me or whatever the case may be. So I guess they initiated a scene where he would come approach me.
Well, hold on, before we get there, I do want to say Roman's song, like when they filmed him in the studio, that shit was slapping. Like I bootlegged that shit off the show. Like Roman, I got your shit. I got your shit on my iTunes bootleg, girl. Like your shit slapping. But where did things, from your perspective, before you get into it, like did things go wrong for you? I mean, like were you kind of, I mean, like did
I mean, when it ended, I mean, it was like, oh, okay. And I ran into him
a normal
time. I ran into him outside of the cameras, of course, and it was kind of like, "What's up?" He was like, "I don't like you." I'm like, "Okay." When he don't speak to me, I don't speak to him. So we just.
But why? But why? Like,
why? If you were able to talk to him, he would say something between me and Ike or whatever he felt like, or he was going to use, I guess, the fact that he tried to say that I played both of them, or I was trying to talk to both of them at the same time. And so in the conversation that was had, he approached me. And he was just like, it was like a month and a half later. Mind you, I got me a whole boyfriend at this point. Like, a month and a half goes by. I'm talking to someone.
Yes.
He wasn't my boyfriend, but we was talking. We was deep into it. You know what I'm saying? And he approaches me when I'm talking to Ike about something, because me and Ike had fell out about a different issue. So me and him weren't friends either. So I was talking to Ike, and me and him was getting back to a better place. So now he comes up to me and Ike, and he's just like, I want to talk about the energy and how you try to play both of us, or something like that, or something around that effect. But it didn't really go off well for him, because he tried to get Ike to say things that were like, well, he tried to say, well, did Tramel tell you about me? And Ike was like, yeah, he told me that y'all went out and hung out and it just didn't work, or y'all were going to get to know each other or whatever. I mean, so he tried to use that as a catalyst, I guess. I don't know. But
now you say use that. So are you saying that you don't believe he was remotely pressed, that he basically did this for a storyline?
Yeah, he really was not. If you know, knowing his demeanor and the things that he even expresses on just all over the place, it's just kind of like, you don't even care about this. Like, this is not even a thing. I'm not the person that you get all worked up over. Like, I'm not saying I'm that bitch, but I'm really literally like not the person that you get worked up over. Like, move on. It's not, you not worked up over me. It's really not. It wasn't even believable to me. It was actually really weird. And I kept saying, I'm like, why are you doing this? Like, this is not that. It is not that. So,
well, I think you might be underplaying yourself a little bit. Like I would get worked up.
I'm saying this.
I would get worked up.
Nothing against me. It's just literally when I think of this young person, I think you think so highly of. He thinks very highly of himself, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you think so low of yourself to come to me about a situation that was not even anything. It was nothing. It was literally like one date. You can't be this hard pressed over one date. You can't. You really can't. It's just not possible. So, and this is why I tell you that I feel like I know production played a big part in him doing this. Because after the conversation, I was fine with it. The one conversation, he was like, don't talk about me. I won't talk about you. Or, you know, pretty much like, I'm done with this. You know, we've done with each other. I'm like, okay, cool. Bye. You know, have a nice life, you know, because we never really saw each other. We never filmed together. We didn't hang around with the same crowd. So it was actually like kind of cool. So I asked production straight up. I said, are you going to use this? He was like, well, if he continues to talk about it, I'm going to have to use it. I'm going to have to use whatever footage he keeps talking about, you know what I'm saying? So then you orchestrate all these scenes where Roman is talking on his phone to a cast member, like FaceTime calls where he's talking about me. Why are you orchestrating all these FaceTime? Oh, he want to do a FaceTime call, so you got to run over there and film him on FaceTime with someone. Really, it's not organic at this point. It's just like, okay, you're going to need to call our guy and tell him something about Tramel because I need to capture this storyline, or I need you to call such and such so that I can capture this. I need you to come to this birthday party that you don't want to come to so I can film you and Tramel interacting, so I can get something with y'all interacting, because honestly, those were I only seen him after that. I probably seen him maybe like 2 or 3 times.
And what was the energy?
Another month and a half.
And what was the energy then, those 2 or 3 times between y'all?
We just didn't talk. Except for the one time where he wanted to argue with me, or where he caught himself arguing with me. And he pretty much ended the argument with stomping off and being mad, or acting like he was upset and he was over it.
So were he trying to fight you? Because he shot out of a cannon after you in the scene.
And that is editing. He actually chased someone else, one of Delicious's friends. They ran a circle around me because the person was talking to him, like yelling at him.
What?
So he started yelling at the boy, and he snatched the boy's wig off, and then he was just like, fuck y'all, I'm done with this shit. And I was just like, what is this?
When are these girls gonna know to glue their shit down when you plan on getting a rah-rah started? I mean, all these promiscuous wigs on people's heads.
It was funny, but it was edited to look, and that was another big issue for me. So it was edited to look like he attacked me. It was edited to look like he was beating me down. And I'm just like, but this situation is really like one-sided, and y'all are making all of this up. Like, at this point, it's just kind of like ridiculous to me. Because I really didn't have a problem with the way we ended. I'm like, I'm one of those bitch. You don't say nothing to me, I don't say nothing to you type people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, girl, move on. I mean, it's over.
Could you ever Could you ever repair a relationship to somebody who has lied and embellished and like came for your neck?
We would never be friends. We would never be cool like that. But I can say I don't have any beef with you, because you literally are not a part of my life, and I'm not a part of his life. So we're cool in that aspect of, if I see you, I'm not going to speak. If he see me, he should not speak, because we're just not that. I mean, but there's no beef there. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not going to lie, Tramel. I would love to see you knock a bitch clean through a wall, this Rambo style. Just one punch, mighty blow, just through the brick wall.
Fighter, you know what I'm saying? No,
you gotta be balanced. Lover and fighter. Fight for love.
I've been in positions now with certain people on this cast that we have fought. Like, I was in an altercation with one of these extra cast members, like, and it was not fun.
What?
Like,
is this stuff that happened at the reunion?
Huh?
Is this what happened at the reunion? No, okay.
It was before the reunion. I tased someone, you know. So
okay, what?
I tased someone.
Okay, I want you to be a lover now. You like real violent.
Yeah,
I thought you was like TV cute violent, but you like real Shawshank Redemption violent.
Came up with the wrong type of energy, the wrong type of spirit, and you know the altercation did happen, and I tased someone, and you know I felt bad, not bad about tasing that person, but I felt bad like this is what this show has forced these people to do. You doing all of this based off of a show, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, for sure.
And like, bitch, I don't even have a problem with you. You're not even the person that I even talk to, that I even fuck with. We didn't have any issues on the show, but I have to tase you because you want to be a part of this show so bad that you have to pick somebody to fuck with and nobody else fucks with you. So you know that I'm one of those people who I don't like disrespect.
They take advantage of your meekness. Yeah.
I don't like funny shit. Like, don't be funny with me. Don't be funny with me and be fake in my face. I don't like that. I don't play them camera time games. I really don't. So, you know, me and him went at it for a little while online or whatever. He made some threats to some people close to me. You know, he threatened to beat up some people around me or whatever the case may be. And then he threatened to beat me up a couple of times. So when he actually saw me in person, he walks up and he's trying to be, hey. I'm like, hey. He's like, you good? I'm like, yeah. And then, you know, whatever transpired after that, I won't discuss. But, you know, my taser did come out and some people got pepper sprayed. And it was just like, it was over at that point. And then, you know, then there were more
Tramel.
There was a DM sent of, you know, I will
sit
on you, I will fight you, and all this sort of stuff. And I said, you know, at this point, I'm not going to argue with anyone anymore. It's going to go to a legal place. So when we get to the reunion, mind you, I know this person's going to be there. I'd already informed production multiple times to not have this person address me in any way, shape, or form. Otherwise, it's going to be a problem. And so, you know, this person was...
Well, those were golden words to production.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But now, when the altercation happens at the reunion, which was not me, it was somebody else that they were attacking. Of course, they verbally came at me, and I verbally came at them, and me and my love got kicked out. Well, you know, we got escorted out, but I came back. You know, another cast member actually threw books at this person, and then the audience started fighting people, and then they just kicked everybody out. So then it was over.
So everybody acted a plum motherfucking fool at season 2's reunion. Fucking audience members fighting, cast members fighting, productions fighting, wigs are flying. Like, there's just fighting.
It was a mess. Yeah.
It was a mess.
We didn't get to talk about anything. Nothing got talked about.
Nothing got talked about.
Nothing.
So the people...
They didn't even make it that far. No conversations were had, so...
No conversations were had. God damn. Well, are you going to drop the infamous person who got all this shit started?
No.
You're a gatekeeper of a secret right now. We may not ever get to see any of this play out.
If y'all watch the show, it's the person who's talking the most shit and they ain't got no storyline. And don't even really get into it with nobody. Don't talk to nobody. The only person he was arguing with his old friend, just Dre Simber, and that's it. I mean, it's over.
Oh, that's kind of surprising to me. Okay. People want to know why the fuck has season 2 come to a fucking end? Do you want to tell the people what's going on?
This one particular individual who was not part of the main cast was sitting on stage with us and would not allow the reunion. He was really literally talking during every single question, and every other statement was directed at someone. He got into it with me. He got into it with Akeem. He got into it with Devon. He even got into it with Redrick. It was just like, what are you doing? We don't even know you, girl. We don't know you like that. It's not even that deep. We don't know you. Nobody knows you. Nobody cares about what the fuck you talking about. So they literally, production made him, they mic'd him up. Nobody else was mic'd. They put a mic on him because it was intentional for him to talk shit about everybody. They wanted to make sure that y'all heard everything that he said very clearly on the show.
Wow.
So they mic'd him up and then they beefed him up to talk shit about everybody, you know, on the stage, pretty much, and to interject in certain places and to say certain sneaky shit and make faces and do all that weird shit. And like, we don't even know you. So that was very disrespectful because honestly, nobody needed him. We didn't need him for any of our situations because we were willing to have these conversations openly. I was willing to talk to Roman about whatever he wanted to talk about or whatever the case may be. Sherrod and Devon could have had their conversation.
Keep talking. I can hear you, but keep talking.
Okay. But our guy and Ike could have had their one-on-one about what the fuck they had going on. You know, we all were willing to have these conversations and to get dead the shit and just move the fuck on. But we couldn't get through the shallow questions because this bitch kept talking. He just kept talking, wouldn't shut up.
So who was this person fucking to have gotten all of this privilege and all of this access and all of this favoritism and all of this?
If they were fucking, but like I said, production.
Because we know that your old friend was triangulating on the show, fucking power in places that he ultimately had none in.
Ooh, shade. But from what I've heard, and this is only allegedly, this particular person, who's not a main cast member, was always speaking with production, a particular production person, on a regular basis. That person, the production, would call him at all hours of the night, 5 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. This is from what I've heard on from other ex-cast members of the show. You know, primarily, you know, Dre Simberg said it. You know, Dre Simberg said that they were calling this particular individual like on a regular basis, just bothering him, blowing him up, you know, trying to get him to film things and come to things. And you know, so I found that to be wildly inappropriate because I'm just like, I don't like favoritism. You know, I don't mind being on a show, an ensemble. When you're on an ensemble cast, it's expected that everybody should be treated fairly, correct? If I put out something, I want you to put it out. If I have a problem with somebody, don't try to make my problem, you know, somebody else's problem or less than. You know what I'm saying? Like, if somebody don't like me, and I don't like them, if they're filming scenes about, you know, talking shit about me, and I'm filming scenes talking shit about them, don't put all their shit in there and have me quiet. You know what I'm saying? That's favoritism. That's what you don't do on an ensemble cast. Let us all be shown equally. That's all I've ever advocated for. I don't want special treatment for anybody. But they were giving special treatment to certain people. And I feel like he was one of those people because you always see him talking in the episode, even when he's really not a part of the actual situation. He has so much dialogue in all of his confessionals, you know, and that you can see that as a trend through certain cast members, you know what I'm saying? He had they showed favoritism, and I feel like the only people who truly benefited from the show were the favorites of the production and not the favorites of the actual audience.
Who are the favorites? You feel?
Well, I would say our guy was definitely a favorite because he was definitely pushed to the front. Charlie wasn't really a favorite, but they did want to use every single piece of footage that they can get of Charlie. Charlie did not film as much as people think that he did, but they would love to use a lot of his footage. Redrick was a favorite, but he was a favorite amongst, you know, everybody on the, you know, on the platform. Like everybody loved Redrick, and Redrick is a good person. You know what I'm saying? So production loved Redrick, and you know Redrick
is me.
Yes, Redrick is beautiful. Redrick is a beautiful person.
Gorgeous. Inside and out.
Yeah, he's like really, really sweet. Like one of the sweetest people I've ever seen.
I live for him clocking the living shit out of Devon at the photo shoot because he got Devon ass right. He gathered every last single goddamn follicle on Devon's hair.
Oh my
and God. I was here for the command and the demand of respect of it all. Such a bad bitch scene, Redrick. You did that shit, but go ahead.
What, you know, bad business to the front. But yeah, them three were definitely favorites. I feel like I think in the beginning, Ike was definitely a production favorite.
Ike?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I feel like he's a fan favorite as well. I mean, that's a good thing too.
Okay.
I feel like Roman definitely had a little bit of favoritism when it came to his editing. You know, they tried to put him in a lot of scenes, even though he honestly was not trying to be. I don't know if he was actively trying to be a part of like the whole situation. I can't for that, but they definitely tried to use every bit of footage they could of him and put him in the front. You know what I'm saying? And that's pretty much it.
You don't. What do you feel like you fall on the other, obviously the other person? So where do you feel like you fall on the hierarchy?
I was definitely all the way at the bottom. Well, no, Delicious was definitely below me, and then I was right on top of her.
Poor God, Delicious. Okay.
They cut like they cut like maybe 4 or 5 of my scenes, like 4 scenes of mine. They reduced a lot of my scenes. They edited a lot of my confessionals out. They didn't like what I was saying. They don't like how I moved.
Well, do you think that's because somebody was deep throating chocolate on the show and then things didn't work out with chocolate and you was kind of associated to previous?
Like you know, that's only allegedly, because one of my close friends was just like, well, you used to be friends with the ex-boyfriend, so maybe that's their way of getting back at the ex-boyfriend through you, or maybe you just collateral damage and they really don't
collateral damage, more than likely. I
feel like I was collateral damage, and that's totally fine. You know, I honestly feel like, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn here, but you will never see all of the things that I try to push forward to the front. I have put out the most successful content out of everybody on this cast. I've done 4 movies. I've put out an EP that charted on the iTunes charts, the R&B soul charts at number 25.
Push through, honey.
Yes, and you know, I've done great things, and nobody will ever see. I've had performances, I've had movie premieres, I've been all over the place, and I didn't even feel comfortable inviting them to any of it. I honestly have worked.
But this is what you do. This is what you do, Trey. You invite them hoes to shit that means something to you, but you fight one of them hoes at the event so that it's bound to show up on the show.
I can't invite them to nothing that they're gonna fight at, because that's my name on the line. Because honestly, you
just fight them hoes at the door. You fight them at the door before they even get into the venue. You just get it out the way. Just slap a bitch real quick up.
The event that I invited them to, the MTV event that I invited them to film at, that I got booked for under the corporate mouth, you know, the media that they wanted us to do there. I literally invited just production there just to film us, you know, actually doing what the fuck we were going to do. And then they brought them there, Delicious and Akeem fought there, and they didn't film us doing anything. So that was like the turning point for me. And I just knew that they were not here to film me being great. They were here to film altercations and drama, and which is fine too, but don't do that at the duress of what I'm trying to do. You know what I'm saying? Hang my glory high above whatever drama is going on. You know, hang everybody's glory above the drama. I mean, the drama will be there. It will come.
Yeah. Do you think that production is between a rock and a hard place? Because it's just like, on one end, if we're saying that boring media don't sell, then it kind of like forces media to give people what they're willing to watch. Like,
I feel like what I take is marketing. It's always marketing. Marketing is the biggest key. G Status and Chasing Atlanta, I'll take them as 2 totally separate shows. Yeah. Honestly, they're 2 totally separate shows.
Yeah.
They have the same what's the word? The same formula, but 2 different shows. Chasing Atlanta, what I like about Chasing Atlanta is they will have drama with each other. They will have drama. It'll be drama, but you do see a lot of them working. They found a way to
come up. Yeah.
They found a way to mix the drama into they're working. You know what I'm saying? Them working.
Yeah.
You see them fighting at events, but they aren't like fighting. They're just like maybe have like a little disagreement, but then the event still plays on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Shit like that. With G Status has built up a only drama filled, so nobody is here for seeing anybody working on G Status. They will be more interested in seeing that on Chasing the Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? G Status has built a whole platform on drama, so they can't do anything outside of drama and it still be an entertaining show. The audience knows that if they want to see drama, they will go to G Status. If they want to see fights, they want to see arguing, they want to see, hell, we was fighting all over town. When we were filming, we got banned from so many places of filming because everybody knew that we was fighting.
Look, I think that
at 4 events, people fought at 4 back to back to back every film.
But don't feel too bad, Chasing. I've seen a Gordini and a Miss England London get kicked out of the Motel 6 lobby because they were too loud and waking up the patrons upstairs and had to go outside to the pool area.
But at the same
don't
time,
feel too bad on G Status.
You see them arguing about stolen LLCs, and you see them arguing about business deals going wrong and shit like that.
And you see their reunions be shit.
Now, their reunions be fucked up because they don't know how to control the reunion now. You know, they reunions is fucked up. Now, I ain't even gonna lie to that now. That ain't it. Because it be so built up because they let the shit go for so long and then it just builds up into the reunion and they just all sitting around each other and then they gotta fight. But I feel like if you push out a certain narrative, that's what people are gonna expect. If you start off with drama and that's all you ever show, then that's all you're gonna have to continue to show. And I feel like if you're going to be on G Status, they need people who literally are not trying to push anything. They just really just want to sit around and talk shit about each other. There's nothing wrong with that, though. There's nothing wrong with having a show, but you have to push the show for people to come to that. You don't entice people who have brands, who have companies and things that they want to, promote on this show
and protect.
You can't try to bring those people in when you really just want bitches who just gonna argue and fight and talk shit about each other. Get them people to do it, because there are millions of people out there who would love to be on a camera just talking shit about other people, and you would have a great show. You just have to get a lot of security and you'll be fine. So the problem now is that I got a brand, our guy got a brand, Redrick got a brand, Ike got a brand, Devon has a brand. Shirai has a brand. Like, we all have things that we want to talk about, things that we want to do, things that we want to push. And we trying to bring people. We trying to bring in revenue. We not trying to argue with this person and that person and that person. We not trying to do that. So they have to drum up shit to make us all look bad. And it's just like, girl, we didn't sign up for this. We signed up. We signed up for some Chasing Atlanta shit. We ain't signed up for no G Status fight.
Well, what happened? But so then that actually makes y'all the ones who are in control, because they can't accomplish anything y'all don't allow them to. If everybody holds their weight.
If they use certain catalysts and people to dig things up, like the whole Sherrod and Devon beef. Like, Devon never saw that coming. I don't even know if Sherrod saw that coming, but it got spilled out about the whole boyfriend sex scandal thing. So it's kind of like, girl, they wasn't looking for that. They wasn't looking for that. Our guy, saying what he said about Ike and calling him those names, and they were friends or they were building a friendship. So Ike is kind of like, what the fuck is going on? And our guy was like, girl, I said it, or I didn't say it. I don't know what you're talking about, but you act like this and you act like that. And so all this shit starts happening, and it's like, girl, wow, where's all this coming from? So yeah, they make us do these things. I mean, you only need one catalyst. Now you and me can be real cool, right? We can be real cool. But if somebody come up to you and say, Tramel called you a hoe and a bitch, and say you be fucking all around town, what you gonna do? You still gonna be my friend? We still gonna be cool? I'm
gonna say that I know Tramel don't want his
me about it.
No, I'm just going to say that I know Tramel. I know Tramel didn't say that because I know Tramel don't want his ass whipped. So I know that that's not true.
And then they're going to bring that back to me and be like, well, he said he's going to beat your ass.
No, but and then you're going to call me and say,
I'm like, so what's up? You said you're going to beat my ass, huh? Well, you said I was a hoe, bitch. You want to beat my ass? No, and I'm telling you, this is literally how the drama starts and how it goes. Somebody said this about you. or they run back with some information, and it just turns into something else. That's how they get us to do it. But
that shit,
we don't want to.
I'm too strong for that kind of shit. I mean, I don't know how y'all fall for it's so elegant. I can't believe y'all fall for the okie dokie. I can't.
3. You should be on season 3. Come on down here.
Why? Y'all have all quit season 2. Who the fuck is going to be on season 3?
New people. We ain't
okay. Wait a minute. So the reason why season 2 is no longer happening is because everybody has quit the show.
Well,
right?
From what I know, this is only from what I know. Honestly, after the reunion, a lot of people went on their social medias. I know I did, and we all was just talking about how bad it was and how we not continuing on. A lot of us, and some people said it silently. Some people don't know what they're gonna do. But I know ultimately for me, I'm not going back. For other people, I can't speak for. I don't know what they want to do. I really haven't been in contact with
Tramel, you have to go back. You have to go back, sir.
They don't want me back.
Yeah. Yes, they do.
I'm too problematic. They don't want me.
No, you're not. You are the least. You're the least problematic.
No,
you're the least problematic person on the show.
I talk too much about production and the production value, and I don't like. I think they're not questioning their integrity, so they definitely don't want somebody like me because I'm not going to. And then I wouldn't even feel comfortable going back and doing anything because I don't trust them anymore. I no longer have.
What if they made a different set of promises? Like, what if they said that we've heard the criticism from the cast, we've heard the criticism from the fans, we're going to take this in a different direction. We feel sorry. We want to give you guys an opportunity to show y'all in the way that y'all should have been represented from the jump. Give us a chance to make it right.
I would actually want them to scrap the rest of this season, and if they were to scrap the rest of this season and let all of us, even everybody, start like with a fresh new season with new drama or whatever the case may be, and then working through that, I would do that. But the rest of this season, it's not good for me. Like, it's nothing there for me, and I don't trust them to edit me correctly. And what I mean by edit me correctly, I mean make the situation, show the whole entire situation, and let the audience decide. Because the only thing they try to do is to try to force the audience in a particular direction. I've seen them do it. I've seen them actually have conversations about it. They told me this is why. They read the comments, they see what y'all want to see or what y'all like or what y'all are drawn to, and they try to edit the episodes in that way. That's why they do confessionals weekly, so they can get the cast members to drive these stories in ways so they can steer the audience where they want to steer them.
But why can't they show the rest of season 2? Like, why is the rest of season 2 not happy? Even though y'all quit, but this stuff has already been filmed. So
the stuff has been filmed, but there are no confessionals for them to direct the stories in those ways. So they would need certain cast members to complete all of the confessionals, because they shoot it weekly. They shoot the confessionals weekly, but the footage from the episodes has already been filmed.
Done.
So with my stuff, they would need some people to speak for me, because I'm not going to do it. So they need somebody to speak for me. So that would pretty much eliminate. It would only be like maybe if Roman decided to do it. I mean, he would just be tearing my ass up and saying whatever he wanted to say about me. And that would just be it. You would only get his side of the story. You wouldn't get mine. That's fine too. I don't care about any of that. Or they would have Ike was there in certain situations. If Ike decided to do it, he would speak for me or speak to what he feels like I think, or whatever the case may be. But yeah, they don't have nothing from me. And if they don't get a certain amount of people to do it, they can just air the footage and let people decide what they want to decide about it with no confessionals, which would be kind of terrible. They wouldn't like that show. So I don't know. And I do know about production is what they won't do. They won't put out a half done project. They would rather scrap it.
Damn. So
if they don't get enough people to finish. Like last season, the first season, 5 people quit.
So you don't think that there is going to be, like, that they're even going to air the rest of it? Like, you don't think?
Honestly, I don't know. You know, I really don't know. From what I gather, in my opinion, they shouldn't, and they probably won't. But then you have somebody like our guy who's still, I think he's still actively wanting to do the season because he's a favorite and he likes it.
He's in a favorable position. Yes,
he's in a favorable position right now. So he's saying that it's going to take some time, but they're going to air the rest of the episode, so they might come. Because he's still cool with producers and production and stuff like that. Because his boyfriend, our guy's boyfriend, also has a show that's coming out up under their production. So he has to be cool with them. He got to do all that shit because he want to make sure his man show gets showed too, which is cool too. You know, do what you got to do, girl. I'm
surprised that you would even tell me to. How you gonna tell me to audition for season 3 and then talk shit about the way production is, how grimy and corrupted the whole system is, and they be like, yeah, this you should.
But you say you can handle that. But I feel like you would navigate through. If I were to do a season 3, I would do a season 3, and I could do it. I could do it beautifully because I knew at the end of the day, like, bitch, I would just show up, do my thing, and leave.
But then you would be complaining because
I wouldn't argue with nobody. I wouldn't say nothing to nobody. They would edit me out.
But according to you, they don't even use that. They don't even use any of that. They don't use.
So I could be a part of season 3, still be on like the little. I could show my face every once in a while. Do cameos, but I would be cool.
Okay, so my next question is: would you ever do reality TV again? Because I know that some of the cast members, like Devon and Akeem, have crossed over to G Status. Would you go to a chasing reality or do a come up Atlanta? Are you open to reality TV still, or?
You know what? I think maybe one day. I like chasing Atlanta's. I like the fact that I like the way they operate, and I feel like I know that certain people didn't like. I know Devon hates chasing Atlanta for whatever reason. I know why.
I think because he was going through a lot.
I know why he didn't like chasing Atlanta and why he's over at G Status now. I know why Akeem is over there. Me personally, I don't know. I mean, but I would be open to chasing Atlanta. We will see. We will see. I ain't gonna say never, but maybe season 6 of chasing Atlanta for me. I'm gonna give it a year.
All right. Somebody, did your boyfriend and a cast member fight? Somebody mentioned that there was an altercation.
I don't remember.
Well, speaking of boyfriend, how long have you guys been together? How did you guys meet, and how does it feel after 9 years to finally be claimed by somebody again?
Oh, wow. No, we've been together for over, it'll be 2 years next June, but it's been a year and a half. It's been like over a year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
I met him. Ike actually introduced us to each other.
Oh, Ike is good for something. Maybe not a date, but certainly a hooker up or a professional hooker up.
Put me on to the homie, and I was just like so thankful. He's an amazing guy. He's been very supportive of everything that's been going on. He's actually encouraged me to to even do this, because being under a production is just like being afraid of what they could possibly do. I don't want them to Dre Simper and pull up some footage of me sucking a dick on the floor. I don't want to do that because they ain't no footage out there. But they could, or I didn't want them to Brandon Carson me and be like, oh, go support Tramel on his OnlyFans. I don't have that either. But
Shady, boo.
That's the fear that you have, that they're going to tear your image or they're going to do something shady to you, and that's horrible. That's horrible to feel that way. You feel like, but you know what he said to me? He's like, "How they gonna make you look worse than you already look?"
Point exactly.
Like you already look terrible with this whole story they're coming up with at the end of it. He's like, you might as well just
like you're trying to protect the cat in the bag, but the cat is already out of the bag.
Yeah, the cat is already out the bag. And it's like, y'all already making me look like a big ass hoe that just want to fuck everybody. So and it's like you literally got actual people who like honestly do sex work on your cast, but I'm the hoe. People who advertise it on your show, but I'm the hoe. I'm the big hoe. The need to be drugged. Like, what is the cat? It didn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
They like to call people hoes who don't want to be called hoes, but people who, I'm not calling nobody a hoe, but people who advertise sex work, they try to protect them. It just be weird to me. It's weird. It's just so weird.
Well, they got to make the real hoes feel better about being hoes by just labeling everybody as a hoe, so that everybody.
I ain't no hoe. Like, I wish I could really know who I am as a person. I wish that show actually showed me the way I really am, and how I really am is I'm shady. I'm shady. I'm a little bit
You
cash
are.
when it comes to work, but I'm
You
also
are.
very supportive of
You are.
everybody on the
Yeah.
cast. Like I support everybody on the cast. I think that they're all amazing people.
Yeah.
I respect all of their work and their hustle. I never tried to step on anybody's toes. I'm not there to bash nobody. Even with season one, like I was not there to bash nobody for what the fuck they was doing.
Yeah.
You know, it'd be a little commentary on the side, but at the end of the day, I respected everybody. It's
Yeah.
all about respect to me. And that's how I operate, and that's how I've always been. And that I respect everybody. I respect everybody's decision with the show.
Yeah.
If they continue on, I told, you know, Devon, Ike, Redrick, our guy, Charlie, I told all of them, I said, girl, if y'all want to do this, you know, do it. You know, just do what you want to do. Just be a part. Make sure it's best for you. Because what's best for me, I'm going to do. And what's best for them, they going to do. So I support everybody. And, you know, it's not to bash the platform. You know, I feel like G Status it could be a great platform. I just feel like the favoritism needs to go. The favoritism needs to go. It needs to be equal amongst all of the cast members, and hopefully moving into whatever seasons they might have going forward. I don't want the show to end.
Might have canceled G Status altogether. I mean, it has not worked out at all.
Honestly, that's not something that I want. I do not want them to cancel G Status completely. I mean, even with the rest of these episodes, like I don't really give a fuck if they come out because I don't watch the show anymore anyway. Like I haven't watched it for a couple of episodes, and you know, moving into a new phase of my life, I respect whatever they put out. I don't really care at this point because it's not going to break me. I have a great support system. I have great people who like me, you know, people like you, and I like you too. I think you're amazing.
No, thank you.
And I have people who really support me and see me for who I really am, and I'm just so thankful for that. And I don't need reality TV. I apparently never needed reality TV to prove that I'm a great person. It was fun. It was fun to be a part of it.
That's the gag. Reality TV needs you. That's why you were so favorited. Even the people here are soaking you up. Like you, Redrick, and Brandon were like the most down to earth people on the show. Like y'all were able to be a part of the community without the extraness. I felt like I never saw that classic slick gay shit from you or from Redrick or even from Brandon. Like y'all came across as just really present, grounded people, and I appreciated that because I felt like everybody else did get their turn up on. Everybody else did in some way play into a unflattering stereotype in one way or another. But for me, you, Brandon, and Redrick were just more of just like, I would forget that these people are gay because they're able to just be people. They're able to just be humans, and that works for me. So
yeah, I was just trying to be was just out here trying to work and showcase that, you know, G Status season 1 brought me so many great things. I want to show people that, look, because from season 1, the main criticism I got, Tramel is talking all this shit. We don't even know what he do. He talking shit about Sherrod. We don't even know what you do, bitch. You just hanging around with that old friend of yours, and he ain't shit, and you ain't shit, and I was like, okay, well, girl, okay, so let me step out.
It got deep.
Yeah, like let me step out and just show y'all that I have my own dreams too, that I've been working on a lot of things. I did radio. I did so many fun stuff that I wanted to share with people. I met so many interesting people. A lot of people wanted to network with me and work with me. And I thought it was like cool to show, but apparently it was not cool to show on this show. And I wasn't scared of drama. I wasn't scared of problems. I also filmed a lot of scenes where I actually talked about the drama between me and Sherrod and, you know, how I felt about it and how it was like kind of hurtful to me. You know, the things that he would said and how I, you know, felt about what I said about him and, you know, the interviews that we had about each other and shit like that. So they cut all that out because I was saying this to Brandon Carson and he quit the show. So they had to cut it, you know, so they was just like, oh, we're going to make you look like you don't care. I'm like, y'all going to make me look like I don't care. So Sherrod get to, you know, say whatever he needs to say and, you know, fit up. And so when I come out and say, bitch, you said this about me. They're like, what the fuck you talking about, Tramel? Like, girl, he ain't say nothing about you. What you mean? So it just makes me look crazy. It just makes me look crazy because it doesn't build up my story or my character, and they don't care about storytelling for me. I want to show people who I was. I want to show people me working, and I don't care about the drama. I don't mind talking about drama, but I don't want it to be all that y'all see of me, and that's all they saw of me.
Well, thank God because of social media, even a reality show doesn't get to define or end your narrative. You're able to still present yourself in the way that you truly are through your own brand, your own career, your own social media platform. So, you have a YouTube channel, The Corporate Mouth. What inspired that? First of all, before I get there, let's go back into the relationship. How is that managing to work in Atlanta? Under these circumstances of social media, reality TV, this is a supernatural relationship because niggas who not even under all those variables can't even make it, and yet y'all are making it with all of those thorns all up and through there. What is the magic to the success of the relationship?
Honestly, I'm an older person. Like, I'm 34 years old, so a lot of things that a lot of people are interested in now that are younger than me are kind of like, it's kind of old to me, having, a bunch of people that love you and want to fuck you and stuff like that. That shit, it gets tired after a while. It's just, sometimes you just want that one special person to just love on you and support you. And how I feel about him is he's always a relationship oriented person. He's only ever been in relationships. So he's not like a round the way type of bitch. So, it's good to have that and to know that, he trusts me, I trust him. Ain't no cheating going on around here. Ain't no secret DMs.
The both of y'all are way too attractive to ever have to worry about cheating. So
yeah, I ain't got time for no cheating shit. No, but if he cheated on me, I would be so mad. And I know he would be mad at me. And I think that's what keeps us. Because I don't want to disappoint him. I don't want him to disappoint me. So I feel like that's what keeps us going good and a good place. Yeah, because I don't want to just be with anybody. No, I need people. Yeah. I need him.
Yeah.
There you go. He's walking around back.
I feel it about.
But when I think about where I've been and the support system that he brings to me, if you can't do that for me, then I don't want you. Because ain't nobody doing what he's doing for me. So
man, y'all are giving a lot of the community hope. We don't get to
hope. I have never been hopeless when it comes to relationships. I always think that.
But not even single for 9 years. You never was just like, is this ever going to happen again? It's going on a decade now. Damn, like I got my shit together. Like I look good.
Put so much emphasis on that first relationship that I had that I lost a lot of myself, and me finding out that being single for so long and loving on myself was because I wanted to show myself that I could love myself. And then I wanted to understand that the love that I have for myself, I want to recognize it when I see it from somebody else. Because I know he loved me as much as I love myself. Just like I love him, just as he loved himself. So you can just recognize it when it comes. Somebody who just want to slide up in your DMs every now and then. Like, bitch, get your ass on. We is not even there. It's not going to happen. So I just know that being in love is loving yourself first, and then recognizing that same love from somebody else.
How long did it take you to fall in love? Do you remember the moment where you felt your heart drop? Like,
I didn't say it to him at the time, but I feel like the first time I felt like, ooh, he could be the one for me was when he took me out on my birthday. And that was like a month after I met him. Because nobody ever took me out on my birthday before.
What's your zodiac?
A Leo.
Okay, a Leo. Okay, got it. Okay.
He took me out for my birthday, and I've never been taken out for my birthday, never gotten anything for my birthday from a man or nothing like that. So
you was like, this dude is for real, for real.
Oh, he's for real, for real. He spent some money on me. He dropped some coins on your boy.
I am not mad. Wow.
He bought me some gifts too. Brought me a bottle of champagne. I was like, oh, you don't even know. You only know me like a month.
Serenaded the girl.
And then you ain't trying to fuck me either. Like, what? What is this? There's some weird, freaky shit going on here.
I am not mad. That is amazing. So, do you have traditional expectations? Like, are you open to marriage? You open to kids? Do you want?
I wasn't until him. He don't met my mama. The niggas don't meet my mama. Now.
He in there.
You don't met my mama. My mama know that we go together. I'm like, ooh, this is different.
How is she with now seeing you in a relationship and like my son is really gay? Like he gay. For real.
She asks about him sometimes. She's like,
Yeah.
"How is he? You know, how he doing?" I'm like, "Oh, he fine." You know, it's just strange to me. She's still like emotionless, but she's all right. She okay. She just weird.
She's giving it what she got to give it.
Yeah, she giving what she got to give, and what she got to give is just even acknowledging him is different for me. So she just acknowledges that she knows that I'm with him. She be asking where he at, you know, just even that part is just like, it's enough for me. It's not like, I asked her would she come to my wedding, because I was always just like, I can't get married if my mama don't want to come. Like, that was always a fear of mine. But I asked her if she would come if I got married, and she said of course she would. So that was.
Did your mama ever ask you for approval over any man that she decided to deal with?
Hell no.
Okay, then. So you pay her the same respect.
No, that's what my mama, and then my mama taught me that too. And when she taught me that, that's when I decided, you know, I should live my life for myself. She taught me that, actually. She said it's easy for you to judge somebody that somebody else is dating when you don't show who you dating. You know what I'm saying? So don't talk shit about my man.
Right.
If you ain't showing yours. So I mean, I see her man, she see mine. So that's what's up. We see each other.
Y'all see each other. Is she in Georgia too, or is she?
Yeah, she live in Georgia.
Okay.
Live here our whole life.
Where
you from? South
Carolina. South Carolina. I'm right next door to Georgia.
You ain't next door. That is 4 hours next door. 3-4 hours.
Yeah, about 3.5 hours away from y'all. I was thinking about buying a home there because I got a lot of.
You should come down and hang out with us. We would love to have you down here.
Yeah, sure. Without the cameras rolling, because y'all get messy when them cameras get on.
Oh, you know, maybe I'll be around chasing Atlanta by the end. Or maybe a different show. You know, there's a couple of web series coming out now that I have cameo appearances on. I would love for y'all to check them out.
So you feel booked and busy and working.
Yeah, I have a couple of cameos on some shows, you know. But it's one called Web Life. You should watch it. It's a story. It's a pilot season called Web Life. My friend Carl, my co-host on Corporate Mouth, he's a main cast member on there. So, you know, I've done a few little appearances. You know, talking some shit every now and then. You know, being supportive.
Being supportive.
Yeah, but that comes out in December. I want to say December 15th.
Okay.
Yeah, December 15th is the start of that show. So you should definitely watch that.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely watch it for sure. I'm just getting into the web series, so I'm late for everybody and everything. So I've been catching up on all things web.
This one you can start from the beginning because this is the first time. So you can really just start from that one. You know, review that thing. Let's see what happens.
Okay, all right.
It's a startup show, so you know it might get 500 views, but.
We always gonna start our minimum expectation at 500 views. Got it.
We're hoping for 500 views.
Hoping for 500. Okay. I'm with it. So I guess before we wrap this up, man, we've been here for 3 freaking hours of.
I know.
We travel the spectrum of dialogue here.
It don't feel like hours, but yeah.
What do you want people to know that they don't know already? Just about anything about you, about the season. Just what do you want people to know that they don't know?
I want people to know that I really honestly really tried really hard not to be, because people said I was boring last season, and that was never my goal to be not boring. I really genuinely wanted to show people that I have a talent, that I have things that I want to express to people, that I have a story, and that's all I've ever wanted to show. It probably is not going to happen on this platform, and maybe it might happen on other ones. I respect G Status's platforms. I respect G Status for what they've done for people, they've done for people like myself. Season 1, they you know, giving me a dream, and and I had my own dream.
I love them, and for no other reason, they introduced you all to, for many of us, they
introduced me to people, and they actually put my music in one of the episodes of season 2. So I appreciate that as well. It's not anything that I don't appreciate about G Status. I just do not like favoritism, and I want people to know that aspect, once that goes away, I feel like G Status will be an amazing platform for everyone.
Yeah.
I want it to be an equal playing field for everybody. And that's the reason why I have to go, because maybe it'll be a little bit more equal. Because I feel like me personally, I feel like I was the only one that was treated unfairly. You know, everybody else has their own qualms and problems, but they honestly got what they needed to get from this season, what they wanted to put out. Like me, honestly, I didn't get shit. Honestly, I didn't feel like I got shit. But I'm not going to disrespect the platform to the point where I feel like they didn't do nothing for nobody. They did some stuff for the people that they wanted to do stuff for, but I want to see them do it for everybody else. I want to uplift the community. I want the community to be seen in a better light. I want you to show the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah.
But I want you to show it in a way that shows that we can all still come together and be cool with each other, and we don't have to go below the gutter and be nasty with each other, but we can still be shady towards each other, but still respect each other at the same time. You know, I love a little shade. Call me
fun shade, not like shade. I want to fuck you up, pull up and kill you type shade. But,
right, like I'm gonna beat your motherfucking ass. That's not shade, sweetie. That's threats. That's different. That's not it. Right. You know, people say
talking about somebody's T-cell count is
like,
not. Woo. Yeah, like talking about somebody's T-cell count is not shade.
That is not shade. That is not shade.
I mean,
that's below the gutter butt type shit.
Talking about somebody's dead mother, that's
not cute.
Like,
you know, you saying I look like a horse in the face. I'm like, girl, that's cute.
That's cute. Like, you call me my little pony all the time. I'll be like, okay,
girl, I'm funny looking, bitch. I mean, I don't give a fuck about that, girl. But don't say I'm a hoe. How would be a funny looking hoe? I don't understand.
Right, it's a lot. It is a lot. Where can the people find you? Where can they find your music? I'm gonna bootleg your music like I did Roman. Okay, I'm gonna extrapolate it for free.
Actually, everybody got. You know what? I'm gonna plug everybody. Everybody got music out. Every cast member got music out. So you need to look them all up.
Okay.
Our guy got music out. Redra got music out. I got music out. Devon got music out.
Wow.
Shit, I'm waiting on Sherrod to make a diss track. I don't know.
Okay.
But you can follow me on IG at @IM_Tramel, and you can find my music on every streaming platform. Apple, Tidal, Spotify. Just type in Tramel.
Yes.
TRAMEL. Mm-hmm. And look up 6-Page Letter. That's the name of my EP. Yeah. Shout out to Aaliyah, 4-Page Letter, but this is 6-Page Letter because there's 6 songs on that. Hey, I'm gonna be shooting a new video for one of my singles.
I think I need to be like I need to be like an extra in one of these videos. Like I need to.
You know what? We can
be like a video vixen in one of these videos.
I might need something. I'm thinking. I'm still thinking, because my next video is definitely going to be a dance video. Can you dance?
Okay, I can do it all.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I need that. I need that. But it's gonna be a dance video. I'm still working on.
Okay.
How I want it to play out. I don't know yet. So.
Okay. Well, tell us a little bit too about the YouTube channel. What is the YouTube channel? What y'all do there?
The Corporate Mouth shit. So the Corporate Mouth is pretty much what we've been doing lately. Have been reviews and interviews of cast members from Chasing Atlanta. Also just reviews of Chasing Atlanta, and we've been doing interviews of local talent in the LGBTQ community. Anybody who has a business, who has a brand, who has a talent that they want to promote, we'd love to bring them on. A lot of people they be talking shit.
Well, y'all need to have me on. I need to be booked for the Corporate Mouth.
Yes, we would love to have you.
Well, have me.
We've been they say so much shit about the Corporate Mouth. They're like, girl, y'all don't got shit going on the Corporate Mouth. But bitch, when I tell you, so many people would love to fuck around and talk with us. Like they love coming. We love to talk shit. We love to, dig deep into the issues of, sex and relationships and stuff like that. And, just fun stuff. So, and we also talk about politics and community and everything. So I suggest y'all go follow us on the Corporate Mouth.
Yes, I will be the next featured guest. So y'all need to go follow them and subscribe. I'm going to have all the information in the description box.
I got you.
Well, I thank you for trusting me to come on to this platform. I know that it probably takes a lot for you guys to even think if these things are a great idea, not knowing how a conversation is going to go, not knowing how things are going to be responded to. So thank you for being here. You are one of my favorites. I'm hoping to God that this is not, I know it's not the last we're going to see of Tramel for sure on reality TV, but you need to stick around for TV. You're good for TV. You're great for TV. What they mean by boring is he got his shit together. He's intelligent. He's normal. He's
normal.
Right, like he's mature, and we need those fellas and that energy in reality TV. So you added.
I know we need somebody like me. The production, one of the producers, he actually told me that he would love to have me back if I were to ever come back. Like he said this a long time ago before everything happened, of course.
Yeah.
But he said, he said they need people like me to just balance things out because, but I told him, you know what? I think all the time, if I had just knew, I would move a little different. I would have cussed everybody out. I would have just been the nastiest little old bitch.
No.
I would have showed shit, and I would have been the most interesting person on the planet. I would have been the most interesting person on the show. I mean,
no.
People think that it's not that hard to be negative, and it's not hard to be disgusting. Yeah. It's really hard to have integrity amongst a group of people who don't have any. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So navigating through that, I'm actually very proud of myself, for even keeping my composure as much as I did. Because most people think that I'm scary. I'm scared of shit. No, I literally think like, what would this do to my brand if I argue with you or fight with you at this moment? Like, I care about how I come out looking like this. And I also care about how they come out looking. So I don't want to tear nobody down. I don't want nobody to tear me down. I mean, I can be a little shady and be a little nasty with you, but I ain't trying to go to the gutter.
No, I'm here to tell people like Tramel are the people who are going to Jerry Springer the place. Like, these are the people who you don't want to fuck with. There's always the quiet ones and the nice ones and the reserved ones who will create a bloodbath when it's all said and done. So
I could, honestly, I know, and I ain't even tell you this, but so many people have brought me so much information about most of these cast members that is damaging and disgusting that I would never tell anybody. Yeah. I got something on a little bit of everybody, and they ain't got nothing on me. They just make shit up. Yeah. So I could really tear some people down if I had that energy to do that. Like, I know shit about things just things.
Things in the boat.
Things that
you got some bullets in the chamber
that could be told about people, like that would hurt people's feelings and would hurt the community, would hurt, their brands and who they are as people. Like, I have that information. People have sent it to me. I've seen it, and I've had conversations with people, not asking for the information, but people just literally tell me things because I'm just that person who just ain't gonna tell nobody. Yeah. So I just keep it to myself. I don't have time to bash or destroy nobody because I wouldn't want nobody to do that to me, but they try.
Let me tell you, these hoes gonna be extra mad because not only do you keep it classy, you holding down a relationship, you got your own place, you got an education, you got an actual job and career outside of media. I mean, you gonna keep these hoes mad. So just be expecting.
I'm in upper management, bitch.
Well, I fucking love you for being here today. I'm going to have you back.
Yes, please do. I would love to.
I wasn't expecting us to go this long, but I enjoyed this exchange. And
you're awesome. You are such a friendly person. You're nice. I like you.
Is that how I translate? I'm a nice person.
Yeah, I think you're very knowledgeable. I think you can see. I think I like discernment. I can feel that discernment from you. You can delineate through like mess. I feel like you can do that very well. So I think you do. You cool. You cool. Yeah, pat on the back because most people can't. They just see one thing and they just don't dig deeper into the situation. But I see that's not you, so that's good.
Okay. Well,
my research, you did your job. You did your thing.
I had to. Hopefully, I can get a lot more of the cast members up here. Like I said, I would love to talk to Delicious. I wouldn't chew her fucking head off because I really do like her, and I think there's a healthy conversation to have about people in her position within the community. And it sucks that so many things happened this season that kind of just made things a catastrophe. So,
right.
you know, I'll be reaching out.
Let her tell you her side. I'm pretty sure it'll turn a few heads. Just let her tell her side. I would suggest reaching out to her, Devon, Redrick, Ike. Reach out to them and see how they feel. How they feel about, you know, certain things. Sherrod as well. Like, I would suggest you speak with him.
Yeah, Sherrod.
So, you know, talk to them. You know, ask them those hard hitting questions about how they feel. And you know, I feel like you can do that. I feel like they would be receptive to it.
Okay. All right. Well, I will take your advice. I'll do that. I'll let you get back to your man, honey. You got things to go do this Sunday. Okay.
Oh, we ain't doing that. I'm about to get on here and play this video game, and you know,
okay,
kiss on him a little bit. He won't.
We'll go tuck the titties away.
Hey, baby, let me kiss on you. He's just looking.
Go put them titties up, honey. And
I'm gonna take these clothes off. Come here, baby. Come say hi. He's gonna come say hey.
Okay.
This is Conscious TV. Nice to meet you.
Thank you for pushing your man to do this interview, because without you, this would not have been possible. So I take my curls off to you.
Yeah, baby, right. I like his hair. His hair is amazing, man. You got some good hair now.
I try. Because y'all be dragging the girl's hair and shit. So
I don't listen. This is what I don't do. I don't talk about nobody's hair, not in public.
Well, my mama always said, be well grown, be well mannered, and keep your nappy ass head did. That was always the 3 fundamental rules in our household. So
okay, got
you. Nothing else gonna be complete. It's gonna be from the scalp up.
Yes. Yeah. I like it. I think your hair is very beautiful, and your mom taught you well.
Well, thank you. Well, I'm gonna hit you up later. Thank you so much.
Yeah, do that. Hit me up, man.
How about and hit that fucking follow button back on Instagram, and also hit.
I will, because you was private. You know, I don't play with private people, you know.
And subscribe to a nigga's platform.
I got you on all that, but you know, you private. Baby, don't play with them private people now.
All right.
You get a follow back from me when you're not private, and I'm
all right. We see each other.
Yeah, you do.
All right. Well, you enjoy the rest of your Sunday. This was a pleasure.
Oh, thank you. You too.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, you guys, that was the show. Tramel is one of my favorite cast members on the show. And I'm going to be giving a lot of commentary and reviews. I know I'm kind of late. Everybody already done seen the season and done did their little videos. But I got to get in there because I have quite a bit to say about different things that happened between season 1 and season 2. There were so many interesting talking points, from the delicious incident also to the conversation about men and trans women and violence and how that should be responded to. There was a lot of great things. Well, I wouldn't say great, but there were a lot of things that took place that make for really important conversations amongst the community. So I'm looking forward to getting into those conversations with you guys. I want to thank Tramel and his man, okay, for letting us borrow him for 3 whole hours. If you guys haven't checked out G Status, please check out G Status. It is a phenomenal show. Matter of fact, support all of the Black web series. These are Black content creators, and whether they're messy or rather whatever, you know, this is Black media happening. And I think we have the potential for something really powerful within all of these series, whether it's Chasing Reality, whether it's To Come Up, whether it's G Status, and so on and so on and so on. So support these Black owned, okay, and support these melanated folk, these melanated reality stars for doing their thing, sharing their lives. This job isn't easy. Being a public figure and going into being a public figure, you're up for crucifixion, you're up for critique, you're up for all type of shit, honey. The slander and the lies of it all happens. So it's a lot to deal with, even when you're on your best behavior. there's consequences and repercussions to just being in media. So I take my hats off to all of these wonderful individuals who have chosen to live their lives out loud, allowed us into their lives, and just God bless the cast. And you guys may see more interviews coming forward. Certainly you're going to see reviews for sure. Thank you, Edna. Thank you, Toots. Thank you, Maz. Thank you, Conscious Crew. I hope you guys have a wonderful Sunday. You guys already know to comment, share, and subscribe, and all that good shit. I'm going to have Tramel's information to his Instagram and YouTube and all of that in the description box below. I will talk to you guys later.